Jamie Basley, Anthony Mitchell.
Offense against the #1 defense, the team with the most takeaways against the team with the fewest giveaways, the team with the most sacks against the team with the fewest sacks allowed, the best third down percentage against the team best at defending the third down. Brian Baldinger, you and I have done 4 World Bowls together. This one, it looks on paper the best of the lot.
Well, you know, the last 3 years that we've done World Bowls, really, I think we could have predicted the winner beforehand. But even as this is here today, I think it's very difficult, and I think all the opposites that you just described come into play. Plus, these teams split during the regular season, and I think the key, Nick, teams don't really like each other very much either. There's a lot of bad blood in the water here.
Well, the commissioner of the NFL, Paul Tagliabue,
you won the toss. You would like to receive.
Has done the coin toss, and the Rhein Fire will receive, having won the toss. A lot of big NFL dignitaries today. We've been down on the field with Jerry Jones, but I haven't personally, but I know you have, Brian, and there's something like 12 owners that are represented here, either owners or vice presidents, presidents, some very senior NFL figures here in Frankfurt today.
Well, I think it's indicative of how this league has grown, Nick, and how it continues to grow. The interest around the NFL from the owners and coaches, it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and the turnout here this year, I think, signifies that.
It's in your grasp. Something you'll remember for a lifetime, guys. It'll be that great to you. I promise you, when we come in here after the game, it'll be a great, great feeling to accomplish what we're after. And again, have some fun, okay? You remember this in the rest of your life. Have some fun out there and enjoy it. It's a game you've played all your life. Just got to go out and play it better than they do.
Whatever you do, play loose, play relaxed, play confident, and play hard for 4 quarters. Turn the dial up every dadgum quarter. Turn it up and keep it up.
Jim Kreiner and Galen Hall have both won Super Bowls. Jim on the right in 1996, Galen a couple of years ago in an exciting game when Jim Arianes came off the bench and led his team to victory over Frankfurt.
Right here, Nick, right here in Stadion, and I think, you know, the big thing for all the players and coaches, you don't get a chance to win a championship every day. You know, they're very few and far between. You never know when you're going to get there again in whatever you're doing. For a lot of these kids, maybe the last time they played professional football.
Well, Rob Hart will kick off. And the deep men for the Rhein Fire include Steve Fisher, who has been so productive for Galen Hall since basically coming in week 9 on returns. And Antoine Carter is back there deep with him as well. He's really shuffled the pack in terms of his returns as Galen Hall.
Well, what happened was Alonzo Johnson was doing it all year, but when the injury to Jeff Ogden occurred, A.J. Johnson was really overworked, and so they gave it to Steve Fisher. He really responded in the last 2 weeks, have given the return teams a big lift.
Well, the talking is over, and the waiting is over, and World Bowl 2000 is underway. And Hart's kick is fielded at the 12-yard line. And there's a return to the 30, and still somehow Steve Fisher trying to find something, and flags coming in on the defensive side of the ball. Fisher really does seem to make things happen on returns for this team, and Bill Levy is our referee today, and he is called into early service. And it's a personal foul against the Claymores. And you said, Brian, that the Claymores looked a little pumped up to you. They are pumped up.
Personal foul, face mask on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Nick, the hardest thing to do as a player in a championship game is to go out and play it like it's a regular game. The adrenaline pumps just a little bit harder right there. And what happened on that tackle to Antoine Carter was a face mask. You'll see it right here.
Oh, it's Hurley Tarver with it.
Yeah, Tarver right there got the first face mask, trying to rip the head off. I mean, there's some bad blood there, and that's taken it a little bit too far on Stephen Fisher.
So Danny Werfel gets great field position on first down. At the Fire, 45. He'll throw. He looks for Alonzo Johnson. It is incomplete. So let's take a look at the starting offense of the Rhein Fire, led by Danny Werfel, whose 25 touchdowns this year is an NFL Europe record. He really has been superb, working behind this line that's anchored by Chris Brymer from the Dallas Cowboys. A big, strong line with a point to prove today. And Drake, Ogden, and Johnson, the starting wideouts. Lawrence Hart, the tight end. Pepe Pearson gets the start in the backfield.
And Nick, most of that bad blood that I talked about with this team is between the Rhein offensive line and the Scotland defensive line. Went at it in week 9, and I think it's going to carry out and spill into today.
Scotland's taking a time out here. Well, not quite the start that Jim Kreiner was looking for, that's for certain.
I hate to burn those timeouts really early like this, Nick. You like to save them for the end of the half, or the 2-minute drill when you feel like you might really need it during clock management.
Well, you know it's World Bowl when it starts raining, Brian. And no sooner do we have the kickoff than the rain comes down. Every year you and I work a World Bowl, the heavens open. It really is unbelievable. And it's almost like the weather has waited for the kickoff here.
It's just sensational the last 2 hours. But I look beyond Waldstadion here, and I see clear skies over the top of Frankfurt.
I love the chance of rain. Oh, yeah, big chance of rain. If it's the World Bowl, it's going to rain.
2 years ago, it poured.
Yeah. But it doesn't spoil the fun, and it doesn't stop the quality of play either. So, second down, they'll go on the ground. Pepe Pearson will pick up maybe 3 before he stopped Marcus Ray coming up from the safety position. Well, the Scottish defense, #1 in the league. Threet, Scarlett, Dingle, and Mike Mason up front. They've been busy all year long. The linebacking crew, Phil Glover, Matt Finkis, and John Hess. Glover, a very smart player, allocated here from Tennessee. And in the secondary, Blackwell and Hawthorne on the corners. Blaine McElmurray and Marcus Ray from the Raiders are at safety.
Probably the best set of cornerbacks in this league on a team right there with Blackwell and Hawthorne.
Kai Lick, the German national, goes in motion on 3rd and 7. The pressure comes. Werfel squirts away, will take off, looks for first down yardage and gets it. And stays on his feet to the 39, and a hit comes in late. But there is no flag. Cordell Taylor it was that was trying to catch up with Werfel, but it's first down, and Werfel sees the field so well. That's what Jim Kreiner and Galen Hall have said to us all year long.
Well, not only does he see the field, but he also has enough athletic ability to take advantage of natural seams when teams pressure him up front with their defensive line. And that time he was able to see the field, outrun the linebackers right there to get the first down and move them into Scotland territory.
The pocket collapsed, but Werfel still converted a 3rd and 7. So it's first down Fire, who've been slow starters all year. Werfel throws. It's tipped, but it's complete.
Pulled out. Ball was pulled out by Hurley Tarver right there.
Ryan Neufeld getting a rare catch. Neufeld, who only made 8 catches all year long, a man allocated here from the Dallas Cowboys. There's 6 Cowboys playing in this game today, and Jerry Jones, the owner, is in town as well.
And we were talking to 2 of them from opposite teams before the game, in Chris Breimer and Dwan Hawthorne, and we were just curious where Jerry Jones was going to sit.
Yeah.
Whether on the Scotland side or on the Rhein side.
Well, he'll end up on one of the sidelines, that's for sure.
Well, one thing for sure, Jerry likes to be on the sidelines.
Now, that is umpire cam, you can see now. We've got cameras with all 4 quarterbacks and the umpire, Charles Hanna.
5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Meanwhile, we have a penalty as well assessed. We have head coaches mic'd, we have quarterbacks mic'd, we've got new camera technology. This game is moving on apace, isn't it, Brian?
Well, we are in a new century. You know, we just are in a new millennium, and maybe it's time to bring out some new equipment.
That's the umpire view.
That's what it looks like right at what the middle linebacker where would be standing.
I love it already. So, 1st and 5. Werfel goes from the gun and gets hit as he throws, but it's complete. And it's complete to Jeff Ogden, the man whose status has been in doubt all game long. Phil Glover with the tackle, but Ogden with that torn muscle in his foot, really, literally a game-time decision.
Well, it's the first catch for Jeff Ogden in 2.5 weeks. He's missed the last 2 weeks. But Danny Werfel, we saw him running on 3rd down for a first down, this time taking a shot from Chris Ward, and this is what it looks like. He never, you know, from that view, he never saw the completion.
But a completion it is to the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
The rain continues to fall, and Werfel still working the shotgun. He said he would do this to give himself a better chance against this Scotland defense. It's another completion to Ogden. There are flags down, and this one's going to get pulled back. But interesting to see, this time this one goes against the Rhein Fire, but interesting to see use of the shotgun. I mean, Danny Werfel said he would go to the gun.
Delay a game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Delay of game, so that'll push it back 5 yards.
Well, the shotgun, I think, Nick, is a great formation for Danny because it allows him to see the field sideline to sideline, and it gives him just an extra second of time when Scotland really tries to pressure him to get rid of the football. The big thing about Danny is his vision. He sees so much. Whatever you do to him, he's going to counter you.
So first down on 15 for the former Heisman Trophy winner to work with. Motion from Kendrick Nord. Werfel stays in the pocket. Quick drop, incomplete. Broken up by Cordell Taylor, looking for Ogden, and Ogden goes down.
He's not getting right up.
This is not what the Rhein Fire want at all.
He's working right here on the outside against Cordell Taylor. One-on-one. It's exactly what Ryan wanted.
That was a hit as well that came in.
Yeah. You know, he came in with a bad foot today, Nick. He came in with turf toe and a torn muscle in the bottom of the foot. But that shot was to his rib. I don't think this is bothering his foot at all.
I think that was from Blaine McElmurray as well, and definitely a huge hit.
They're looking at the knee right now.
Well, he's been such a player for the Rhein Fire throughout the first 8 games before he injured his foot. And you just hope that he can carry on, because you want the best players to be playing in the big game. So while Jeff Ogden gets some attention, we will take a short break. Back in Frankfurt in a moment. His own steam. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him, but this is a guy playing through pain, as you mentioned, and literally a game-time decision today as well. He practiced yesterday, did his warm-ups this afternoon, and Galen Hall said, okay, you can go. That hit him, he really did get sandwiched.
But I'll tell you, Nick, you know, I talked to him before the game, and he said he felt fine. He practiced this week. He took 1 day off of practice just to rest, but up until week 8, I thought he was going to be the MVP of the league. I mean, he was the guy that made this offense go. He was the powder keg that ignited this team.
So, second down on 15. Back on the ground they go, and a pickup of 5 yards for Antoine Carter, who is stopped by Blaine McElmurray. McElmurray's busy. It was McElmurray, I believe, with the hit on Ogden earlier.
Well, here's the last play. You're going to see here the right guard, Craig Heinberger, is going to pull and kick out on the outside linebacker here, Phil Glover. They like to get the big guy going, put his track shoes on, and Antoine Carter runs right behind him. Heinberger is a guy that got into it with Noel Scarlett in the last game, got his eye poked in, and he wants to go after and finish that matchup today.
3rd and 12. From the gun again, Werfel has a lot of time, has a wide open man for first down yardage. It's Ogden again. No problems with his health, and he was wide open, working one-on-one with Corey Blackwell. And the Galen Hall and his staff said, we feel we can work something with Blackwell.
Well, I think they think that's the weakness to the secondary. There's Ogden in the middle man in the 3-man side. He's going to be working inside against Hurley Tarver right there. And they both went and took Drake deep, leaving Ogden wide open underneath, a breakdown in the coverage. And that's what that 3-man bunch side does to you. It creates confusion.
First down at the 10. Werfel will throw again. He looks end zone for Kevin Drake. Has he got him? Oof. Out of bounds is the ruling.
Boy, and Drake is a guy that just killed Scottish Claymores this year. He scored 4 touchdowns this year against the Claymores.
The team that let him go.
Yeah, the team that he played for last year, working on the outside against Blackwell. Just going to take it to the post and then to the corner. Turns Blackwell all the way around. And he got his way with Blackwell during the year. 3 of his 4 touchdown catches this year were against Blackwell.
That was close from Kevin Drake. Blackwell got away with it. Second down on the ground. Antoine Carter spinning his way inside. Will pick up 3 yards. Hurley Tarver is coming back from the nickelback position and making the stop. 3rd down and a goal to come from the 7. Well, the Fire normally start off so slowly, but this has been an impressive drive. Helped by a useful return, then the 15-yard penalty.
Illegal substitution, defense. 12 men on the field, 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
And that one is a huge one.
Well, it is big because it gets them closer to the goal line, and it's second down. So now they have literally 3 downs to go 5 yards here now. So you can run the ball here, you can throw it, you can really put the Scottish Claymores defense in a precarious predicament. You notice they haven't gone towards Hawthorne's side at all yet today. They've been going after Blackwell.
So instead of 3rd and 7, it's 2nd and 5, and they'll go on the ground with Antoine Carter, and Carter is wrapped up and spun out. Dwan Hawthorne stayed with him and pushed him out.
That was an excellent play by Dwan Hawthorne because the corner was there for Antoine Carter. Now, Hawthorne has a difficult job. He's got to cover man and then come back in, and Finkus was able to get over there. You see the red in the picture right there, Ned. Nick, that's a new technology here. It means they're inside the red zone. Matt Finkus, his second year with the Claymores.
I thought my vision was going there for a second. thought the space was burning up.
Finkus, not yet, Nick. We'll let you know if it does, though. So far, he's been good.
3rd and goal from the 4. Werfel looks, throws. Is it picked off? No. Finkus, loose ball. Everyone's diving around. They're ruling it incomplete. Matt Finkus playing, he says, his last ever game of football, almost had a pick at the goal line.
Finkus, when he got the call this year, you're going to see him right in the middle of the screen. Middle linebacker on this play. He's going to be looking at the tight end. And he's looking right at Danny Werfel. He's reading his eyes. All he's doing is mirroring him.
Couldn't quite hang on.
Finkus, who was on the All-World League team last year, you know, had another solid season, led this team in tackles this year.
Well, Manfred Bergsmuller doesn't often go beyond 30. This, a 22-yarder, should be comfortably within his range. They came after him, but Bergsmuller's kick is good, and the Rhein Fire are on the board first here in Frankfurt at World Bowl 2000. We'll be back in a moment. Well, I think the rain has stopped here in Frankfurt. It was just a shower, mercifully, but it got everybody wet. It got that field slick, which is something that Jim Kreiner said he really didn't want to happen.
Well, by the end of this game, everybody's jerseys won't be white like Ogden's will. They'll be stained and browned and look like they rolled around the mud.
Sanford and Gibson are the deep men. Kickoff returns have been terrific for the Claymores recently. A very shallow kick fielded at the 18, and Sanford waits and runs into trouble. Nowhere to go. He is down at the 25-yard line. Chris Akins, the first man there. So let's take a look at the Scottish Claymores starting offensive unit, led by this man from the Tennessee Titans, Kevin Daft, who's had a really good, solid season. Made few mistakes and thrown 19 touchdowns as well. Working behind a line that features Jason Tenner coming in at left tackle for Scott Curry. That a change this week. Tenner had an excellent week of practice. Cooper, Gibson, the starting wideouts, Tate, the H-back, Ricky Brady, the tight end, and in the backfield, the league MVP, Aaron Stecker. So the Fire moved 55 yards. What can the Claymores do? Stecker skips away from one man, has yardage, has a blocker as well, and picks up 8 yards before he's pushed out of bounds. Akins and Ferguson, the two safety men, came up and made the stop, but that just shows his vision. This is the defense he's working against. Fitzpatrick, Anderson, Douglas and Ham, the defensive front. Douglas and Ham each had 9 sacks. Ogle and Renfro flank Jamie Baisley, who has had an outstanding year for the Fire this year. And the secondary played it a little bit soft. Week 9 against Scotland. Mallard and Gardner on the corners. Akins and Ferguson, the two safety men. Second down and a couple. Daft will throw. And he goes over the top for Big Willie Tate. And Tate was barely used during the regular season. He only had 7 catches, the H-back. He was there primarily to block. It was the secret weapon that Jim Kreiner said he might unleash today.
Oh, Willie Tate got deep. Of course, he's got a World Bowl ring from 1996, and you see him in motion in the yellow circle. This is going to be play action right here. Nice protection up front from the right tackle, Cornell Green. He got right behind Anthony Dogby, the linebacker, and Nick Ferguson, the safety. Nice over-the-shoulder catch, however. The last time these two teams met, the tight ends caught 10 passes against the Rhein Fire.
That one good for 31 yards. First down at the 36. Daft hands it off. Stecker dances his way up front. Big hole in the middle. And looks for extra yardage. Bounces away from tacklers. Inside the 10. Touchdown! What a run from Aaron Stecker. Straight up the gut.
And how many men did he bounce off of? You see the strength of Aaron Stecker and why he was chosen the MVP of this league. And that rain you see on Galen Hall is no excuse. I mean, you've got to wrap up, and the weakness of this team is the tackling. But you said right up the gut, Nick, this is a draw. Right behind the center, Gamble and Newell. Now here it is. One missed tackle. Both safeties missed him. Akins and Ferguson both missed shots at him.
Well, they feel if you get into this secondary, you can do some damage, as Rob Hart, who's never missed an extra point, tacks it on. And that's an impressive response for the Scottish Claymores. And this man is going back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when the season ends. And I know they're loaded in the backfield, but surely this guy's got a shot, if not in Tampa, then somewhere.
Well, what you've seen on a rain-soaked field here is the ability to cut on the first play and make people miss, and then the ability to run with power behind the offensive line and make people bounce off. He also, by the way, is the team's leading receiver. But here it is. I mean, you know, you're running right behind Jason Gamble and Mike Newell, who's the All-NFL Europe League center. Watch both safeties here. Leave their feet. He ran right through him. Chris Akins and Nick Ferguson ran right through him. And then carried Deshaun Mallard into the end zone. Look at the vision. The vision, the cut, right underneath his feet, in control. That's a heck of a run. The longest run in NFL Europe World Bowl history, Nick, right there, 36 yards. There's the double team. There's the double team inside on Ernie Brown. You see him, they picked off Kendall Ogle, 59, the linebacker. They got both of them.
This is the umpire's view. Saw the speed of Stecker there as well. Left the umpire for dead. And he's put the Claymores back on top. Well, the rain has started again. It's going to be like this all day. Carter and Fisher, the deep men. Fisher feels a ball that bounces, and that's not what they wanted at all, the Claymores. It gives the Fire field position at the 40-yard line.
That hurts, Nick, because you just got great momentum on that three-play drive by the Claymores, and then you give the Rhein Fire field position at the 40. And we said coming in today that field position and special teams was going to be really important, and that maybe the Claymores were more inconsistent than the Fire.
Well, they gave up good field position on the last kickoff, didn't they? I mean, with the 15-yard penalty, they started at the 45. Now they're at the 40. And I tell you, this rain, yeah. Well, we had the first shower that stopped, but this one's coming in with a vengeance now.
Well, we saw in the first drive of both teams the ability for players to cut on the field. With this rain, Nick, the field is going to get more and more like a rice field, and we'll see if they can cut and keep their feet underneath them.
So Werfel will throw on first down. Feels the pressure again, runs into trouble. He's down. He'll lose 3 yards. Noel, Scarlett, and Jabbar Threets were in the thick of that.
And Scarlett was talking last night about this game, and he hasn't stopped. He's a jabber. You know, they sacked Danny Werfel in week 9 8 different times, 7 of them by that defensive line. And they feel like they can really put pressure on him. He saw his ability to escape from the first drive. Can he continue that?
Well, they only gave up 23 sacks all season, but 9 of them came in that week 9 meeting as they went after Werfel and his backup Matt Lytle on the ground on second down. Not much, maybe 3 yards, and that's about it. Marcus Ray coming up from the safety position, stopping Pepe Pearson, who had a terrific first 5 weeks of the season, but in the second 5 weeks got less than 100 yards combined.
Well, Noel Scarlett was the one that poked Craig Heimberger in the eye, you know, in the last game, and it really developed into some bad blood. He's going right up against the right guard most of the day.
This guy with tons of potential, Brian, and he said he was never taught the basics and the fundamentals in college, and he's learned so much here working with line coach Jim Tomsula,
who is a great coach.
Third and long. Werfel looks for a man, has a man, and he gets away from the first tackler and picks up first down yardage, and that is a big play from Antoine Carter. John Hess eventually on the stop. He just about got the first down. In fact, it's Pepe Pearson again.
You know, watching both those guys there, they almost look exactly alike. Pepe Pearson, Antoine Carter, same type of guy, about the same size, same ability. In fact, they rotate pretty regularly. And that's from Danny Werfel's helmet right there. This is what Danny Werfel's going to look at coming up to line of scrimmage behind Chris Breimer.
Here we go, Liz! Liz!
First down. Up midfield, he goes upstairs for Ogden again. Oh, incomplete, no flags. The two Dallas Cowboys working against each other there. It was the defensive back that won that battle.
Well, Ogden, you can tell it's not 100%. You see him limping there. I saw him limping on that pattern that time, but Hawthorne in perfect position. This is a great match. Watch Ogden go up over him. You know what happened? He went up over him, had the ball, but it hit the top of Hawthorne's helmet, and it got knocked out. That's just a great play, and those two guys are going to be going at it in Dallas in training camp.
And they're good friends as well.
Yeah. Saw him before the game. They wanted to know which side Jerry Jones is going to be on today.
Here's Pepe Pearson. He knows which sideline he's running for. Brought down by Jabbar Threets from behind, but that give Pearson 8 yards. And Pearson, who really went AWOL in the second half of the season, has come out fired up here.
We see Jabbar Threets right there. I mean, this team likes to rotate defensive linemen. Rashid Simmons and Threets. You'll see Mike Mason along with Chris Ward. Look at this on the outside. Look at Hawthorne here trying to take on Kendrick North.
North's giving him a bit of a show.
North did a great job. That's a great block on the outside by a wide receiver, helping the running back, allowing that play to go.
Empty backfield. Meanwhile, we have
Timeout, Rhein Fire. That's their first charge, team timeout.
Nick, what you mean by an empty backfield is no running back in the backfield. Everybody was in a wide receiver position,
including Carter.
Wenn es Timeout haben, dann geht die Party weiter und wir feiern richtig.
Galen Hall and Danny Werfel talking it over on the sideline. Jeff Ogden in the mix there as well.
Most of the time, it's Galen Hall asking Danny Werfel what he wants. You know, this guy is such a master of the offense. He wears a copy of it right on his wrist, but he is really, really a maestro out there on the field, really in command of the offense. Usually, Galen goes with what he thinks, and what he sees.
We had a close shave last week. He played the whole of the first half without the plays on his wrist. He said he was dreading a play being sent in. He didn't know what it was. Well, you can see the first down marker. You can see how far they've got to go. And there's that third down battle we talked about. The best converters against the best third down stoppers. And on third down, they go from the gun, and Glover finds Kendrick North straight down the middle. As Glover was coming on the blitz, Werfel just got it away and found his receiver.
That was a double blitz that time, and Werfel beat him with the speed of decision. You're going to see both linebackers, Finkus and Phil Glover, both come on the play. Glover comes free from the right side. Werfel beats him, speed of decision. Ball's gone. Glover's not there. Boy, Kendrick North, who got picked up about week 6 this year, has really helped out this club. Came from the Frankfurt Galaxy. A big guy that has great natural ability. Hasn't been coached that much. Big play of that time on third down.
So first down, play action. They find Nord again. Nord pays the price this time as Blackwell comes up. Maybe a loss of a yard on that play as Corey Blackwell, the former Giant, read it all the way.
What I like about both these corners, Nick, is not only can they cover, you know, in challenge receivers, but they're good tacklers. This is just going to be what they call a bubble screen. Kendrick North's just going to come back. This is the old college screen, trying to get a couple blockers downfield. But what happened, Corey Blackwell read it so quickly.
Blackwell
was with the New York Giants last year in training camp.
Was with this team a couple of years ago as well. When Jim Kreiner brought him back, he said, well, you're a different player now mentally. On the ground on second and long, Antoine Carter with his cutback ability as well, and Carter doing what Aaron Stecker had done earlier and picking up 13 yards and a first down. McElmurray eventually on the stop. But this is a guy that in his third year with the Rhein Fire that is always productive for them.
Yeah, he's just trying to find the right team to win the World Bowl. He was with them in '97 when they lost to Barcelona. Again, you're going to see the pull here by Craig Heinberg. That's 320 pounds. He's like a John Deere tractor getting out in front. Nice block on John Hess, the linebacker. And now the rest is all Antoine Carter.
And the bad news, even more bad news for Scotland, is Jabbar Threets is still injured on the field as well. Getting attention.
Well, Heinberger right there, you know, he was in Green Bay last year. And, you know, he always idolized Reggie White, Nick. That was his favorite player. Reggie was in Green Bay this year. He was getting treatment on his back. And he left the practice facility, and his car broke down. Craig Heinberger happened to be going home that day. He pulls over to the side of the road, and he helps out the Reverend. He jump starts his car, and then he says, oh, by the way, Mr. White, would you mind signing an autographed jersey for me? I just happen to be a huge fan. He brings out a '92 from the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, I mean, he's a true fan, and Reggie recognized the fact that he had '92 from the Eagles, was a big fan, and there's a, you know, a couple of ex-NFL Europe players, Marco Rivera, Joe Andruzzi,
both from Scotland. Mike Newell also with the current Scotland team, and Heinberger with the Rhein Fire. And you really like Heimberger. You think he's got a legitimate shot in Green Bay, don't you?
Well, I really do, because I think that he's the type of guy that's only going to get better. You know, he's a guy that never stops. He never hears the whistle. He stays with the play all the way, and he likes to play the game, Nick. I mean, he's the guy that likes practice.
First down, just outside the 20. Werfel continues to move this offense. And going again for Ogden, just overthrown. Incomplete. The coverage was there from Marcus Ray and Dwan Hawthorne. 2nd and 10.
Well, anything that Ogden gets today, it's not going to be easy, Nick. I mean, they've already hit him a bunch this afternoon. And then that time, double coverage from the safety and the corner. But Dwan Hawthorne is just a really good player. And Marcus Ray, a guy that...
He'll let you know.
Yeah, yeah, Dwan just walks by quietly. Marcus is going to let you know for the rest of the afternoon he made a play.
We still wait for Kevin Drake to make an impact. He almost hauled in a touchdown. 2nd down, back on the ground. Antoine Carter still cutting back. Flags come in the offensive backfield. Carter will get 3 if it stands up.
Now, this could be a hold on Ryan Neufeld, the tight end, against Phil Glover. It was a WWF takedown is what it was, Nick. World Wrestling Federation takedown. Yeah, there it is, Ryan Neufeld.
He looks a bit like a wrestler, doesn't he?
He's got the head shaved.
Yeah.
That's another Dallas Cowboy.
He's believing.
Holding. Offense, number 87. 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
So the hold caught by the officiating crew.
Usually it's pretty easy to tell who holds on the play because the flag hits the guy that holds. There's Phil Glover that he's working on. He's going to try and get the corner. Here it is. His hands are inside. Okay so far. Now on the outside. Hand was on the outside. What they really saw was just a finish. It wasn't a real bad block, to be honest. Hands were inside the whole time.
But it's 2nd and 20. And he's got time, Werfel, and he goes the opposite way. Kendrick Norton is picked off straight into the arms of the waiting defensive back who was Dwan Hawthorne. It's the last place you want to throw it, and Werfel knows it.
Great coverage going to Danny Werfel's right on the play. Came back to the backside, and Kendrick Norton, who we mentioned, just got here in week 6, had a breakdown on the play. He was going a different way. Danny Werfel thought he was going the other way.
So Dwan Hawthorne, who had 4 interceptions on the year, comes up with another one.
First of all, good protection right here. Look, Danny Werfel looking right. Right, nobody there. Now he thinks Kendrick Norton should be going to the corner. The 2 receivers in the same spot. You know that's always trouble in any pattern. A.J. Johnson, Kendrick Norton standing together. Dwan Hawthorne, the easy benefactor. That's Christmas in June right there.
An easy one. So the Claymores take over at their own 5, and Stecker is bundled down after a couple of yards of pain there. He'll lose maybe a yard, and we've seen this with Aaron Stecker in the past. He'll get no gain and no gain, as we see that the Fire have dominated in terms of possession, even if the score is in favor of the Claymores. But they'll be patient with Stecker. They'll keep on banging away, and then he will rip one open.
Well, as we saw in that drive, it only took 1 minute and 10 seconds. He ran the ball twice in that drive, the last for 36 yards. And a touchdown. So they scored quickly. And Danny Werfel upstairs talking to the offensive coordinator, Bart Andrews.
2nd down. Play action. Dak looks for man. Can't find Donald Sellers. And it's incomplete. So the pressure was coming from Larry Fitzpatrick, who was in camp with the Scottish Claymores. And Dak probably wanted to have another second or so to find Sellers. And Jim Kreiner's team facing a tricky 3rd down here.
Sprint right lane.
It's just going to be a sprint right. Kevin Daft is going to roll out to his right this time behind the right tackle, Cornell Green. Going to throw this ball on the run. Safe pattern. If it's not there, he'll throw it away and they'll punt the ball.
So Daft rolls.
He's got him.
As the man, Sellers, right at the first down marker, and they're ruling it incomplete, that it hit the ground. And the punting unit will indeed come on, and Sellers furious, but they're not going to overrule that.
Well, they got exactly what they wanted to, Nick. They got Kevin Daft on the outside, Sellers on a comeback route, enough for a 1st down. He threw that ball just a little too low. Sellers been a big addition since he came back over here in week 6.
So it brings on the punting unit, and both teams' punting units have been massively improved in terms of returns. Ballantyne, the Aussie, will kick it away. Steve Fisher waits at midfield. Valentine.
Boy, this is a return ball.
Gets it off. Fisher fields it. And he's got 10 yards already and more. And he's down after a 17-yard return. It was John Hess that tripped him up, but they found Steve Fisher by accident. They just ran out of guys, basically, who could punt return after all the injuries and the problems that they had with Alonzo Johnson. And Fisher just stepped up and said, well, I'll give it a go. And it's been terrific.
Those are all Frankfurt Galaxy fans that are cheering for the Scottish Claymores. Anything against their German arch rival, the Rhein Fire.
Absolutely. We've seen an awful lot of Frankfurt Galaxy tops and Claymores kilts while we've been walking around.
And what happened to you today, Nick? I thought you were going to be in a kilt this afternoon.
I was going to wear a kilt. I was going to wear one, but
I heard you were worried about what you have to wear underneath that kilt, and that's what scared you away.
I said the Claymores had to supply it, and I didn't push the thing too far.
No running back here, Nick.
Empty again from the gun. First down. Pressure comes. They found Drake, and Drake pays a big price as Blackwell nailed him. A couple of yards. Drake would have felt that.
You know,
well, we already mentioned it. It's the number ones against the number ones this game, which is exactly what you want from a championship game. There's where the Rhein Fire are the number ones, and the Claymores, they've got as many number ones, if not more.
Well, you know, you see the Scottish Claymores number one in takeaways, sacks, fewest points allowed. Meanwhile, the Rhein Fire, total offense, touchdowns.
Well, they've given Drake a generous 4. So second down and 6. Back on the ground they go, and there's a hole there, and another 5 yards for Pepe Pearson. Blaine McNamara coming up on the stop and make that third and a long one coming up for the Fire.
It doesn't make a difference, really, if it's Pepe Pearson or Antoine Carter, the run behind Craig Heimberger when he pulls. He's doing a nice job opening holes. You know, you mentioned Pepe Pearson. Really, the last 5 games really tailed off quite a bit.
Vanished. Absolutely vanished.
You know, a lot of those games, though, Nick, they've been behind, and they had to come back and throw the ball to catch up.
Empty backfield again with Antoine Carter split to the top of the screen. This will be the last play of the first quarter, and the pressure comes up the middle, and it's incomplete. So there's still 3 seconds left on the incompletion, and Drake is furious. He was trying to work Hawthorne, and Hawthorne won that battle. And Hawthorne's having quite a game in front of his owner here.
Well, as soon as they go empty backfield, they blitz. They come with the blitz off the corner, and here's Corey Blackwell. I mean, he knows exactly what play it is. He actually stripped him with his left hand, got the ball away from Drake.
So, the end of the first quarter. It's been dominated in terms of time of possession by the Rhein Fire, but one big play from Aaron Stecker has given Scotland an early 7-3 lead. Well, back here in Frankfurt, Aaron Stecker's 36-yard touchdown run has given Scotland the 7-3 lead here, and Aaron was talking to his coaches at Tampa Bay earlier in the season, and he's told us that they hadn't realized his cutback ability, and they're going to take a good long look at him. Meanwhile, here's Washington Redskins kicker Peter Elezovic attempting a 44-yard field goal to trim the deficit to a point. He has a long of 52 this year, and that one, they came after it, and that's not going anywhere. They might even have got a piece of that as well.
I think they did.
Marcus Ray.
Yeah, I think Marcus Ray got off the corner. I think it was a low kick, Nick.
Or it could have been Blackwell.
Yeah, boy, you know, week 9, they blocked a punt in that game. They ran back a kickoff. The difference in week 9's game and for Scottish victory.
So
those are special teams.
Never really had a chance. I think it was Blackwell that came after it. And special teams miscues. That's Jeff Reinbold, the special teams coach, just going out of shot. He had a nightmare with his units 2 weeks ago up in Glasgow. That really the difference between the two teams. So Daft is back on. Now that's interesting because normally the Claymores rotate their quarterbacks. Yep. Daft gets the first and the third. Marcus Crandall gets the second and the fourth.
But Nick, they've only run 6 plays here today. You had the first series that went for a touchdown, the second series deep in their end zone. They're giving Daft just another series here.
And here's Aaron Stecker getting the carry, and Stecker bouncing off tacklers and gets to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 6. Anthony Mitchell and Jamie Baisley on the stop.
Boy, Kevin Daft, you know, what you say about Kevin is he doesn't make the big mistakes. He only threw 3 interceptions this year. You know, he's not a guy that's going to beat you with the deep ball or is going to be a gunslinger back there, but he's not going to beat himself. That's what he's going to do first.
So, second down and 3. The Claymores look to build on their lead. The swing passes to Stecker, and Stecker faces Baisley and just skips away from him. Well, Jamie Baisley owned Aaron Stecker in the first 2 meetings in the regular season. Not on that play, he didn't.
Boy, I tell you, Aaron Stecker was the leading receiver on this team this year. Out of over 1,000 all-purpose yards. He cut the ball in the flat, and he put a move on the middle linebacker, Jamie Baisley. You know, it's one of those things where you say, Jamie, go pick that up. That thing that you just dropped, that fell off you, go pick it back up.
Baisley was like a magnet on Stecker in the regular season. So Ben Snell checks into the backfield. The ball at the 45-yard line. Willie Tate is the motion man. Snell gets the carry. Snell gets the benefit of a blocker and then is tackled. A good open field tackle coming in. That restricts him. Deshaun Mallard coming up from the corner, but Snell, a real power north-south runner. Not many frills and finesse about this fella.
No, you know what? He didn't really carry the ball as much as he liked this year, but he's a good role player. He understands his role, averaged over 5 yards a carry, and he's a bigger back. He's a guy that can pound you a little bit. Nice change of pace at 230 pounds, and he punishes people.
Gain of a couple. Mallard with a fine tackle there. And they'll stay on the ground, and Snell looks for blockers once again and picks up good positive yardage. Another 7 yards before he's tackled. Larry Fitzpatrick was there, so too was Deshaun Mallard. That's going to bring up 3rd down and short.
Well, right now, you know, I think that offensive line of the Claymores is getting physical. They're winning the battle up front, and so far what we saw from the rain, the field hasn't been affected. Good cutting ability by both these guys. Look at the three receiver package right there. Now Willie Tate in motion.
They'll just try and power it. Oh, no, they're not. Fake. Caught everybody. And they had a wide open receiver. I believe it was Celicio Sanford. He was tackled by Derek Gardner, but the fake fooled everyone. And Sanford got himself open and picked up 6 yards and a Scotland 1st down.
Well, when you're running the ball as well as the Claymores have been so far today, everybody starts paying attention to that running game. So you fake the run and you go to the play action pass, even on 3rd and just 1 yard. That time it was just pitch and catch. Nice throw by Daft.
First down, Tate shuffling around in the backfield. Stecker back in the game and just getting strung out on that occasion. Jamie Baisley won that duel on that occasion. 2nd down and 8. That battle between Stecker and Baisley could be one of the keys to the contest.
Well, you know, Stecker really had 2 different games this year against the Fire.
24 Thunder.
Blue 24 Thunder right there. They're going to pound this ball a little bit more. You know, Stecker in the loss had 110 yards rushing, but in the win, he only had 52 yards rushing today.
2nd down, going downtown, and it's a completion, and it's a big one for Donald Sellers down to the 12-yard line. He beat Derek Gardner. 1st down, Scotland. And what a difference Donald Sellers has made to this Scotland offense. He's just added a dimension that they were lacking before he arrived.
Well, I think it's an era of professionalism. Here he's working on the outside of Derek Gardner. Just a nice double move. Went inside of Gardner, now counting outside. And then a perfect throw by Daft. Boy, that's what you call dropping it in the bucket. Sellers, good hands in traffic.
1st down at the 12. Scott Cooper in the game, top of the screen. Sanford in the slot. Damon Gibson to the bottom. Pressure comes. Daft in trouble. Throws it away. This straight up the middle from Bastian Lano with help from Chris Akins.
It's going to be ruled a sack, I think, Nick.
Well, the German youngster, only 23-year-old, is another guy who looks like a wrestler, Bastian Lano, and he's just getting better and better, this fella. Tons of raw talent. Ouch.
Crunch. Yeah, that's Chris Akins got there first, blitzing from the safety position, and Lano finished him off. You see the eyes painted up like a wrestler would.
He doesn't need eyes painted up to look fearsome. There's the red zone. That's marking again.
The hot zone, where you want to convert.
Oh, meanwhile,
Timeout, Scotland.
a timeout taken by the Scottish Claymores. That is their 2nd. So while the Claymores think over their options, we're going to take the option of a quick timeout. Back in just a moment. Back here in Frankfurt, it's World Bowl 2000. Nick Halling and Brian Baldinger enjoying the action.
Here we go.
Just under 11 minutes left, 1st half.
Win right, 33X Circus on 1.
The Claymores, who barely touched the ball in the 1st quarter but still led, mounting a pretty impressive drive here. But they have a 2nd down and 20 after the sack. And Daft will throw. Can't find anybody, so he rolls to his right. Flags come in everywhere as Daft evades one tackler somehow and dives down at the 8-yard line, but there are 2 flags in the offensive backfield, and that will probably not be good news for the Scottish Claymores.
Boy, Daft's showing some strength that time, breaking a tackle, getting down the field, and then getting down to avoid a big hit.
Holding. Offense. Number 67. 10-yard penalty.
Vane, Cornell Green, the right tackle, called for a hold. And they're getting pushed deeper and deeper here, the Claymores.
You know, right now the penalties are hurting the Claymores, both offense and defense. Right tackle is Cornell Green, working on Bastianello. They run a stunt that time. Marquez Douglas, 95. You know, the one that was second in the league in sacks with 9 this year. And when they ran the stunt, caught Cornell Green a little bit off guard and tried to tackle him to bring him down.
So umpire Cam gives you the perspective of what's happening on the field. It's 2nd and 30. And they go to their bread and butter guy, Aaron Stecker, and Stecker's got blockers, but he's also got a whole bunch of Rhein Fire people. And now a flag comes in on the defensive side. Steve Fisher and Deshaun Mallard combined. And we will wait for Bill Levy's call again.
Boy, that flag come all the way back from Jim Howie.
Face mask.
That's the second face mask we've seen in a tackling situation.
But is it a big one? Or is it incidental?
It's either 5 or 15 here, Nick. We'll find out.
5-yard face mask. Defense, number 36. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Replay, 2nd down.
So there's the think tank. Vince Alcalde, the offensive coordinator, sends down the play to Jim Kreiner, who radios it into Kevin Daft.
Trey Wright, King. I want 22 double circus.
22 double circus.
Why is Donnie coming out? Shit.
Donnie, how come you came out?
So that's the way it works.
Yep.
From Alcalde to Kreiner onto the field. They want to know what Sellers came out for.
Circus, circus! Hey,
Cooper
circus!
is wide left.
Well, now Daft has to get the message to the whole team in a short amount of time.
Sanford is wide right. 2nd down, still 2nd and long, and Daft will take off. He's got a big space in front of him again and just plunges to the 15. With Jamie Baisley and Chris Akins in hot pursuit, and if you've got those guys after you, you would dive.
Hey, you know what, Nick? What's funny is we show the tri-picture there of Vince Alcalde and Kreiner and then Daft, and they go through the circus of what play to get in there, called the circus, by the way.
Yep.
And then Daft just says, you know what? I feel too much heat here. I'm just going to duck out from the circus. I'll create my own. Daft looks pretty good taking off with the football twice on this series.
We saw a lot of that earlier in the season from him. Now 3rd down and 13 from the 15-yard line. Daft will throw again. He's got the swing pass, but it's in front of Aaron Stecker, and he couldn't pull it in. And if he had, Jamie Baisley was there waiting for him, perfectly placed.
I said wherever Stecker goes, that's where Baisley's going to go. That's his key. That time Baisley in great coverage position. Even if Stecker catches that ball, Baisley will make the tackle.
So Rob Hart to attempt a 32-yarder. His long is 42. He was booming 47, 48-yard kicks in practice. Game situations, of course, very different. And the kick is on its way, and it's certainly got the distance, and it's another 3 points for the Scottish Claymores, who fell behind early to that Manfred Mergsbuller 21-yard field goal, but that kick from Hart makes it 10-3. 9:03 left in the first half of World Bowl 2000 here in Frankfurt. The Scottish Claymores, through the boot of this man here, Rob Hart, increasing their advantage to 10-3. But these two fellas here will want something to do about that. Steve Fisher and Antoine Carter, the return men.
And Fisher's been the dangerous return man of late.
And Hart has tried to kick to the corners to avoid that return as well. And the last one was costly because it went out of bounds. And Fisher will field this at the 13.
Got a crease.
And he's found a crease and he's exploded through it. And he's got past Hart and he's got past midfield. And it's Hawthorne that has to bring him down. And wherever they found Steve Fisher, and there may be a flag on that. And Hawthorne is lucky not to draw a flag. That's got the crowd on their feet. A 42-yard return from Steve Fisher. The guy who's doing this by accident.
Well, nice wall up front. Anthony Dogman and Ernie Brown. Nice block right there to get him through. Rob Hart ran right by him. Can't be tackled by the kicker. Boy, there's the cornerbacks. Hawthorne and Blackwell running him out of bounds.
And a little bit of afters there as well. but no flags. Look at this. I mean, that's the sort of thing that can get you 15 yards.
No, what Dwan said is, if I'm going over the ledge, you're going over the ledge. I'm not going over there alone.
Well, Matt Lytle has checked in at quarterback for the Rhein Fire, the left-hander from the Carolina Panthers. They've not been as effective with him there. Having said that, he's done a solid job coming in limited experience situations, and he's found Pepe Pearson, the easy outlet, and Pearson has got first down yardage and cuts inside, and will pick up 19 yards. Finkis was there on the stop, and the blocking ahead of Pearson was terrific.
Boy, great call that time to run a screen to get Matt Lytle warmed up. Nice job out front by Michael Early and Craig Heimberger setting the wall. Here's the coverage on the other side. Here's the bunch formation, how they're covering it. Now the blocking downfield. I mean, on the screen, everybody has a man. Ogden gets a good block on Marcus Ray downfield.
Johnson left, Drake right, Ogden in the slot. Pearson in the backfield. First down, Lytle throws again, looks for Alonzo Johnson, incomplete. No flags. Dwan Hawthorne was the defender, 2nd and 10.
I tell you. Hawthorne, you know, Matt Lytle's saying, come on, AJ. I threw the ball to the pylon. You got to turn and adjust. But Dwan Hawthorne, solid job out here this afternoon.
Well, he knows why. I mean, apart from the Jerry Jones thing, you know, this is the championship, isn't it?
Yeah, sure it is. Yeah. And here it is from the umpire this time, looking at Matt Lytle. And from the backside of Antonio Dingle.
2nd down. They go to Pearson, who doesn't get a whole lot. Ryan Taylor was the first man there. Maybe a couple will bring up 3rd and long.
They ran right at the umpire.
Well, you can't do that.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, sure he can.
Charles Hanna.
Yeah, there's the camera right on top
with
of
the technology right there.
How do they always get out of the way of the tackles? He lines up right behind you, Nick, and they never get hit.
That's what they teach them in official school, first of all. And there's another look.
But that's what it looks like now. It all comes right at him. Antonio Dingle, 74, and John Hess, 53, Noel Scarlett. Those guys are going to be right back in his lap.
The play is coming right at him, and it's a big play as well. It's 3rd down and long. They're in the red zone. Lytle feels the heat. He's got a wide open Antoine Carter. Carter pushed out of bounds by Marcus Ray, who just raced over from safety, but what a well-executed play.
Well, Matt Lytle's been sharp, hasn't he? He came off the bench. He's giving this team a lift right now.
Certainly has.
I mean, look at the blocking up front. They only rushed 4 this time. Lytle all kinds of time on the outside. Marcus Ray slow at getting there.
And it's ironic, Brian, because the word is that they suffer a bit of a lag, as we see the quarterback cam there. But Matt Lytle actually, you know, they suffer a bit of a lag when he steps in, but not here.
That's a championship game, and Matt's never won a championship.
1st and goal from the 7. 3 wide receivers to the right. That's where he's going. Looks for Kevin Drake. It got through his fingers. And the man who burned Scotland for 4 touchdowns in the regular season will think, well, maybe I should have had that one. And Marcus Ray got away with one. That's twice Drake has been very close in this ball game.
Well, here it is. He's got him beat.
It's there.
Oh, no, it bounced off the helmet of Marcus Ray. Actually hit him in the top of the head there, and it deflected just enough to throw him off.
So there's the red zone. The ball spotted at the 6.
And they don't want to settle for another field goal all the way down here.
Ogden left, Drake right. 2 tight ends. Lytle goes in the direction of Ogden. Ogden's got a lot of work to do. Can't do it all on his own. A lot of coverage there. Rashid Simmons, Matt Finkis. 3rd and goal.
0 snugged in, 50 curl. 0. 0 snugs in, 50 curl.
I heard nothing.
Well, Danny Werfel saying he didn't hear it in his helmet. Maybe Matt Lytle didn't hear it in his helmet. Of course, quarterbacks, not only do they wear the helmet cam, but they have a headset inside their helmet to hear the plays.
50.
4 wide receivers on 3rd and goal. Lytle drops, the pressure comes. He gets rid of it to Alonzo Johnson. Broken up. Cordell Taylor, incomplete. Cordell Taylor, a late arrival to the Scottish Claymores, allocated in from the Chicago Bears. The pressure came from Blaine McElmurray, and it's incomplete.
And the blitz. Marcus Ray came on the play, got a little hand up. Well, Taylor might have gotten there a little bit too early, but nonetheless, good coverage. And again, Rhein Fire drive the field. They get down inside that red zone, have to settle for a field goal.
Well, he's made a 21-yarder. This will be an 18-yarder. The 50-year-old former soccer player. It's a chip shot for him. But once again, the Fire driving but settling for 3, Brian.
That's the difference in the ball game right now. You know, one team was able to put a touchdown up there. Rhein Fire, 2 field goals right now. Been a well-played, evenly played game, just the way all the stats said it should be. And the last time these two teams played, a 1-point game.
Impressive from Matt Lytle.
Yeah, you know, the way the rotation works is Danny Werfel gets the teams to the second quarter. Matt Lytle plays generally all the second quarter, and then Werfel takes the whole second half.
Well, Matt Lytle allocated here from the Carolina Panthers. You can see their logo on the back of his helmet. Danny Werfel, of course, not an allocated player. But the player allocations have gone up year on year from 35, including one Brad Johnson of the London Monarchs back in 1995, to 153 here in 2000.
You know, 2 years ago, you saw Damon Heward, you know, against for Frankfurt, and Jonathan Ogden of the Dallas Cowboys, one of those allocated players. You see Ernie Brown right there, the Steelers, on the Steelers. Of course, his father played with the Steelers.
They've kicked it to Celestio Sanford, who fields at the 12. Can Sanford find a return? No, he can't.
Nice tackle.
Great tackle in open field from Chris Akins. And the Rhein Fire have worked so hard on special teams in practice this week because they got torched 2 weeks ago in Glasgow.
Well, there's a starter out there making the tackle, Chris Akins here. You know, and Celestio Sanford's the one that beat him last time on a punt return. 80 yards, set up the game-winning touchdown.
Interesting, though, Brian, Kevin Daft is coming back into the lineup.
Well, that's a great tackle by Akins in the open field. One-on-one.
We're going to go Trey Wright, 325 Thunder on set.
They stay with Kevin Daft, and this is a change from Jim Kreiner. Sanford goes left. Sellers right.
You should go to Sellers.
Daft will throw. Finds Sellers. It was high. They're ruling it incomplete. The hit came in hard from Nick Ferguson, the man who calls himself the crash test dummy. And there's the Holy Trinity again. Al Cowley to Kreiner to Daft.
And the second is 6. The second is 6 on the goal. Nichols in. Second 6. There we go. Nichols in.
On 1.
Go to the draw play right here. Going to drop back, give it to Aaron Stecker. But this is how much goes on between every play. How important the communication is.
Gibson, top of the screen. Sellers to the bottom. Sanford in the slot. Draw play. Stecker. Stecker tripped from behind after a pickup of 7 yards. Marquis Douglas on the tackle, a man who's had a very productive season, a guy who says he learned a lot from talking to Leroy Glover, who played in this league a couple of years ago, then went on to great success with the New Orleans Saints.
Well, Leroy Glover played for the Barcelona Dragons when they won the World Bowl 3 years ago. Very similar guys, not real tall guys, but very quick and very strong, and Douglas will beat you with his quickness.
3rd and a couple. And Daft rolling, slipping, staying on his feet somehow. Now he's in trouble, and he's crunched and he'll lose a couple of yards. And it was Marquis Douglas in the thick of it again with Ernie Brown as well. And Brown has come on really strong the last 2 or 3 weeks.
That's good defense. What you want to do on 3rd down, Nick, is get off the field. This is what Daft is looking at on the rollout. He's got Stephen Fisher covering. Here's Donald Sellers at the bottom. You got to get that ball to Sellers. Right there, Donald Sellers at the bottom. You got to find a way to get him to the ball. He had 1st down if he could have caught it.
So Ballantyne, the Aussie, will punt it away. And it's a kick that's fielded at the 30-39. Oh, and they've made a botch of it, and the Claymores have recovered it. Fisher tried to flip it to Gardner. There is a flag down, but Willie Tate came up with it.
Well, I will see if Scotland was downfield early. And that's the only thing that could bring the ball back.
Well, it's a huge break for the Fire if they were.
Well, it's a 2nd turnover for the Fire.
What a high-risk maneuver with a slippery ball on a slippery field. It had disaster written all over it, but have they got away with it? Bill Levy will tell us.
During the kick, holding number 33 of the return team. Penalty is declined. 1st down.
Big mistake on special teams. It's what killed the Fire 2 weeks ago in the regular season.
Well, here's Stephen Fisher, who's a great return guy. Why reverse him? They're trying to build the ball to Derek Gardner, who's he's not a return man. He doesn't do that for a living. Boy, gutty call, play that you know they don't get a chance to practice very much. But in championship games, teams like to bring out all the stops. Sometimes you just get too fancy, Nick.
And Willie Tate, who owns that championship ring from 4 years ago, was Johnny on the spot. And the Claymores get a big, big break to the 32. Sellers to the right, Cooper to the left. Tremaine Allen is in motion.
Here's a reverse.
And now they're trying some razzle-dazzle. No, it stays with Daft, and Daft's in trouble, and he's pursued from behind, and he's brought down, gunned down by Marquis Douglas. He says, I'm a small guy from a small college. I just want to show I can play.
Howard University is the college, and it was a great effort because there was a fake on the play, but he wasn't faked on it and just stayed after it and pursued him.
Loss of 8 yards, and we always talk about this Scottish Claymores defense, but right now this Rhein Fire defense is playing up as well.
Oh, they sure are. Douglas plays the play all the way to the outside. Now he comes back in. Look at that motor. Look at him. Stuck him up right there. Looks like something out of the Discovery Channel, Nick. Like he was hungry looking for a meal.
On the ground, nothing doing. Big trouble. Ken Anderson, Larry Fitzpatrick in on the stop.
And the defense has to come up big after the turnover, and 2 great plays in a row. Ken Anderson right in the middle of your picture, going to be working against Ben Cavill, the left guard. Beats him cleanly inside.
Well, and this Claymores offense struggling against a determined Fire defense as we reached a 2-minute warning here in Frankfurt, with Scotland leading 10-6 in a finely balanced World Bowl. Downtown Frankfurt, the venue for World Bowl 2000. The last time the World Bowl was held here, the Rhein Fire won against the Galaxy. That was a game played in showers as well. Is that an omen, perhaps? Well, they're trailing here to the Scottish Claymores. And I tell you what, the Claymores have a lot of fans here because all the Galaxy fans have become honorary Claymores for the day. And it's 3rd and long for Daft, and the pressure comes again, but Daft feels it, goes down, had a lot of time and waited too long. Derek Ham, the sackmaster, might have got that one. Waited a long time.
And that's the best series by the Rhein Fire defense in the game so far. Dominance by the front 4 up front. Derek Ham from the outside collapses Jason Tenner. Now look at the hustle. Look at Marquez Douglas on his knees, grabbing Kevin Daft and bringing him down. But it all started with the pressure by Ham, who had 9 sacks, 2nd in the league this year.
Man, going back to the Washington Redskins after this.
Both Ham and Douglas with 9 sacks a year ago. And
you think they're going to try a reverse?
Well, that's how Scotland got the ball last time. That man is a dangerous returner. And I think an unallocated player like Fisher has helped himself, showing all 31 teams in the National Football League he can do this. He's got the skill to be a good returner. First of all, he makes people miss it. That's the special teams
Ryan Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, a big stand defensively there because A, it stopped points on the board, it pushed them out of field goal range, but B, it's also given the Fire an opportunity to put some points on the board themselves before halftime.
Larry Fitzpatrick right there, who started camp with the Claymores.
Yeah. He was traded. There's flags everywhere. I think there was a lot of movement at the line of scrimmage, and some of those Claymores were backpedaling well before the snap.
Yeah, they're going to hold defensive delay a game. Chris Akins came across the neutral zone.
Delay a game, defense.
Well, actually called it on Derek Gardner, but there was so much going on up at the top of that line of scrimmage there.
There's Larry Fitzpatrick. Got the new shaved head, and
I think he cut himself as well.
Look at the steam coming off his head, though. That's just heat.
You could fry an egg on there.
No, that's fire. That's fire coming from the head. In June, you don't see that very often. You see that like at Lambeau Field in January.
So, Valentine will kick. Fisher will attempt the return. And the Aussie gets it on its way, a high hanging kick. Fisher calls for a fair catch at the 6. No razzle-dazzle silly stuff on that occasion, and it means Matt Lytle and the Fire offense will have 1:45 left to march it 94 yards.
It's this type of the position right here where you just want to get it out of this danger zone first, Nick.
Just 115.
Hey, what are we, am I running out or we're going to see?
Run it out. Yeah, let's just see what happens.
See, they're going to run a 15 zone right behind the left side here, Nick.
Hey!
Just to try to get a little field position.
He doesn't have enough guts. He's called illegal for
Here we go. Hey, we're going to run it. We're going to run the clock out unless we move the ball.
And Galen Hall won't be unhappy at going in at halftime 10-6 down, because the adjustments that his team has made consistently throughout this season has shown that they're a second half team.
Nick, they scored 171 points in the second half, the best in this league. They make adjustments. I think a lot of it is Danny Werfel getting a chance to watch when Matt Lytle's in there.
So what are they going to do? They play it safe with Antoine Carter, who gets maybe a couple. Rashid Simmons making a lot of noise, coming up with it. John Hess was there, and that's the Rhein Fire's think tank. Bart Andrus, the offensive coordinator. Galen Hall sends it in. Matt Lytle hears it.
Bart Andrus, of course, was in the Super Bowl this year. Quarterback coach with the Tennessee Titans. Worked with Kevin Daft all year.
Counter, all one, ready?
You want to use the clock, right?
Suppose those guys only playing championship games now, don't they? Super Bowl 1 month, World Bowl 5 months later.
Rhein Fire just want to run out the clock here.
Second down, and Lytle hands it off again. Tarver's got a hole, and Hurley Tarver had to come over, get off his block, and make the stop. And a good turn of pace once again from Carter, who's got deceptive speed.
Yeah, he sure does. A good change of pace back. Now he's going to rotate here with Pepe Pearson. He'll come out. That's what it looks like from Matt Lytle.
Is it Lytle?
See, hands off. Almost a collision. Now Matt Lytle will carry out a fake here. Look at this nice crease here. It's Antoine Carter getting north-south, going upfield in a hurry.
And a good hit to finish, but it's first down. And Lytle with play action, going downtown, and it was almost picked off by Blaine McElmurray. They were looking in the direction of Kevin Drake. And with 20 seconds left, I guess they thought we might as well give it a long downtown shot and see what happens.
Well, why not?
Gotta stay outside.
Because even if it's picked from there, I mean, barring a return, it wouldn't give the Claymores much time.
This should be the last play of the first half as Galen Hall takes his headset off to get ready to go into halftime. 16 counter. They're probably going to pull the left guard in this play. Run right behind the right guard, Craig Heimberg.
Drake to the bottom of the screen. Kendrick Nord to the top. On second down, and they'll play it safe. Go on the ground. Pepe Pearson looks to turn the corner.
Now the clock's going to run here. Doesn't stop. Did not get out of bounds.
Finkus on the stop.
Ryan with 2 turnovers in the first half and 2 field goals when they got it into touchdown territory. Can't feel too terrible about being down 4 points here.
And that is the half-time. And this World Bowl finally balanced indeed. The 1 touchdown came on Scotland's first possession. Aaron Stecker with the 36-yard run straight through the heart of the Rhein Fire defense. Since then, defenses have dominated, and it's all to play for still. The championship game has 2 quarters of play left. We'll be back in just a moment. Back here in Frankfurt, the Scottish Claymores leading the Rhein Fire 10-6 at half-time here in World Bowl 2000. Everything to play for. The Scottish Claymores with the lead and with the only touchdown of the first half as well. That explosive run right up the heart of the Fire defense from Aaron Stecker. This really the big play of the first half. 36 yards, breaking tackles, bouncing off defenders. But then they try to come back only for Dwan Hawthorne to get an interception, lost his helmet. But then a couple of times they nearly found Kevin Drake, the man who's burned them in the regular season games. That one was just out. So too was this one. And that's why we have a 10-6 ball game. But the Fire, Brian, you've said it yourself, a second half team.
Well, what happens is Danny Werfel doesn't play the second quarter, Nick. He has a chance to watch the field. They go in at halftime. They have a chance to adjust, make some changes in the offense, and they usually come out in the third quarter and just explode and carry it all the way into the fourth quarter.
Well, we haven't seen a big special teams return yet from the Claymores as Peter Lezovic gets the second half underway. Sanford fields at the 7. Tries to work the fake, doesn't fool anybody. The Rhein Fire have worked so hard on their special teams. Vince Bradford with the stop. And Galen Hall knows his team while they're 4 points away. Basically are in good shape.
Turn it loose now. Turn it loose. Let's get after him. We got a chance. Whatever you got left, guys. Don't let anything out there. Step it up, and we'll win this football game. All right? Hey, let's go have some fun and get the ring. All right, let's go.
I got the ring 2 years ago here. And he'd like to repeat that. His 4th trip to the World Bowl for Galen Hall. Of course, one of those with the Orlando Predators 8 years ago.
Kevin Daft staying in at quarterback. Aaron Stecker, the ball carrier. Deshaun Mallard was the first one there, and he had a lot of help. Ham, Fitzpatrick, and Jim Kreiner has decided not to rotate his quarterbacks here.
Right. 33 wins the nod.
Lots of a yard on that first down play as well.
Well, they never made any promises to Marcus Crandall that he was going to play all year long. And right now, I think they want to stay with Daft. He had a good first half, and as long as he stays hot, we'll probably see him.
So Daft will drop back to pass. Has Ricky Brady, who got 8 catches in the win 2 weeks ago. And he got one there, but Kendall Ogle read him all the way, and they may lose yardage on that play as well.
Now, the best way to trigger a team and explode an offense is to do it with your defense.
Y shallow cross.
This is the Y shallow cross, going to be a play action pass.
Trips left,
You drag the tight ends across underneath.
Trips left, 25, wide shallow cross, on 1.
Let's do it.
Well, they've got themselves a lot of work to do. This Rhein Fire defense really stiffening up after giving up that easy touchdown. And
There's the tight end. He's open.
Looks, has a man, can't find him. Incomplete. Looks for Celicio Stanford.
Oh, yeah, Ricky Brady, the wide cross, wide open underneath, and he just missed him. That man, Jamie Baisley, has had a great 2 games against the Scottish Claymores. This is what Daft is looking at. Little twist up inside by the tackles. Missed Stanford, but he really missed Ricky Brady, who was open underneath.
3 and out. John Ballantyne back in the ball game.
And a dangerous Steve Fisher set to return.
Ballantyne gets it away. A high hanging kick. It's fielded at the 40. Shot at a return here for Fisher, but he was smothered. Marcus Ray was the first man down there. Ray had help as well from Rowell, Blenman, and Saran Stacey. So 3 and out for the Scottish Claymores. It'll be the Fire with the ball when we return. Jamie Baisley, Kendall Ogle, and the rest of this Fire defense doing a pretty solid job here.
Well, they just pitched a strikeout, 3 plays and out for the Claymores, and they got the ball back for the offense in excellent field position. That man, Jamie Baisley, what a 2-game series he had against the Claymores this year. 21 tackles, 2 fumble recovers, an interception.
Well, he had a 10-game series, really, Brian. I mean, the guy was it's amazing to think he was working at a golf course when Galen Hall called him up and said, do you want to come and play another season? And here he is.
Yeah, his 3rd season here.
Werfel from the shotgun. They go on the ground. And Antoine Carter squirts away from tacklers. And picks up 11 yards. Matt Fink has had to scurry back from middle linebacker to stop him. But Carter is, in addition to that deceptive speed we've talked about, he's got some elusive moves as well.
Well, they try to run blitz right here, but they have a nice job of picking it up inside. Craig Heinberger picks up the linebacker, opens up that hole. Just slips out from Noel Scarlett there, and exactly right. He slithered his way right through that hole.
And they're bringing the chains out.
He broke the tackle of Noel Scarlett. Chance to make that play right at the line of scrimmage.
Saw what Scarlett thought about that. Now, did he get enough for first down yardage? Yes, he did.
Well, you know, you pick up 10 yards on the ground on first down. That's a big lift to the offensive line. Antoine Carter in there, you know, congratulating the offensive line. It hasn't been real good so far in first down for Ryan, but it just changed on the first play for them in the 3rd quarter.
So it's Werfel. He's got Ogden in the slot. He's got 4 wide receivers. He's got Drake to the top of the screen.
Scotland playing with no middle linebacker against this formation.
No! He's got Carter in the backfield.
No!
Werfel. The pocket collapses, but he can't find Alonzo Johnson. And there was contact between Johnson and Marcus Ray, but there are no flags. And that pocket was collapsing in a hurry as the pressure came from Jermaine Benoit.
I said there was no middle linebacker. That time, Marcus Ray stepped down from the safety position. Here's the coverage. On Alonzo Johnson going across the field, picked up by what became the middle linebacker, Marcus Ray, who stepped up from the safety position.
Second down.
Go blue! Blue!
Werfel feels the heat, finds Carter. Carter is in trouble. Buries. Jermaine Benoit finished the job that Michael Mason started.
Michael Mason, who played in this league last year, is a completely different player. You see him at the top of your screen playing the defensive end, going against Dan Collins. He sniffs this out right away. Rushing from the outside, he reads the back. Look at this play. That's just a heads-up play by the defensive end. Good instinct there. Mason's a guy who's unallocated, but I think he has helped himself out. He should land a job in the NFL come this summer.
And to think they were saying a year ago he looked a bust when Berlin took him in there with their first pick in the draft. From the gun on 3rd and long, Werfel steps up, hit as he throws, and it's picked off. Blaine McElmurray looking to try and set up a return. He's up midfield. McElmurray matching Dwan Hawthorne for interceptions. They both had 4 in the regular season. They both have 1 here tonight. And that was all because the pressure came right up the middle and Werfel just threw it.
Boy, and Werfel got popped too. I could hear the hit all the way up here, Nick. I don't know how it did knock the air out from underneath him. Watch Danny Werfel here step up into the pocket. Good job of stepping up here. Now he's going to take a hit from Phil Glover. Boom, you see the ball gets knocked off going for A.J. Johnson, but Alonzo Johnson has to do a better job of going for the ball in the air.
Wow. Well, there it is. I mean, how anybody gets up from those. Well, both defenses giving their offenses every opportunity here. And Stecker runs into a white wall. He'll get maybe a yard. Gang tackled. Second down and long. And this is Werfel cam.
This is not why Danny Werfel wanted to wear it. With his feet up in the air, his back on the ground, and his helmet turned all the way around.
Well, he's had that in the NFL, of course, but that famous play where his head was literally, or his helmet was spun around.
He wants to see that ball in the end zone with a touchdown pass, not his feet in the air.
So, second down, a couple of yards for Stecker. Daft will throw. And once again, can't find a receiver. Now he can, and that was nearly picked off as he looked for Aaron Stecker. Kendall Ogle was there and almost had a piece of that.
Both teams right now, I think, are feeling the pressure of good defensive lines. And we said coming in today, Nick, we thought this had a chance of being a real defensive struggle. I think right now, both defensive lines pressuring the quarterbacks, making them move out of the pocket. There's Marcus Crandall, who normally rotates with Kevin Daft, not getting into the rotation today.
How must he be feeling? 3 wide receivers lined up to the left. From the bottom, it's Gibson, Sellers, Sanford. And Daft will throw, goes the other way, as a man. Now, has he got first down yardage? The preliminary indication is yes.
Well, the tight ends are a big part of this offense. Ricky Brady working against Kendall Ogle. And here he is, taking off here from the tight end position. Nobody chucks him at the line of scrimmage. That's a good route. The ball was in the air, was thrown low where Ogle didn't have a chance to get it.
Well, it's bounced around the league. He was drafted by the Rams back in 1994, Ricky Brady from Oklahoma City. First down at the 40. On the ground, draw play. Stecker squirts away from tacklers. This is where he's so dangerous. First down yardage, 11 yards. And anytime he gets those wheels spinning, he is a danger.
Well, you're right about that, Nick. Spinning or churning, the legs never stop moving. And that's the key for him. He's able to make cuts and make decisions while his legs are still pumping like pistons.
Stecker comes out to take a breather as the ball is spotted at the 29-yard line. Ben Snell in at the back in the backfield. Sanford left. Gibson, or rather Sellers, right. They go with Snell, and Snell tries to work his blockers and pounds his way for 4 yards. We'll bring up second down and 6.
And Jamie Baisley tried to interrupt that play on a run-through blitz, the middle linebacker. Snell's able to get around it and get a couple of positive yards, but Claymores would like to keep this ball on the ground. Nobody runs the ball more than the Claymores in this league.
325 Omaha on 1.
time the receivers flip side. Stellers comes to the left, Sanford to the right. Snell staying in the ball game. Daft will throw at Stellers. Stellers will have first down yardage. The tackle was from Deshaun Mallard, but Stellers knew where the first down marker was and found it.
Stellers, who came over here in week 6, Nick, had a tough time. You know, he hurt his toe, he hurt his ankle the first week.
Broke his nose.
Popped
his shoulder, everything.
Yeah, no training camp to go through. Working on Deshaun Mallard, who made the All-NFL Europe team at the starting cornerback position, opposite Dwan Hawthorne. Steller's been a big lift for this team. 16 catches the first 2 weeks he was back.
So first down in the red zone again. Scotland looking to try and pad this lead. That ball was batted out. They got hold of him, Derek Ham, with the pressure from the outside, and that ball was dangerous. And now somebody's fallen on the ball, and it's been recovered. Well, a delayed reaction from the Fire. They have recovered what has been ruled a fumble. Larry Fitzpatrick.
You know, it's the cardinal rule, Nick, in football. You never, ever stop on a play and always go get the football. Derek Ham stripped it from Kevin Daff's hand. Beat Jason Tenor on the play around the corner.
Well, this is exactly what happened against the Berlin Thunder back in Berlin in week 4. Well, that turned into an 80-yard fumble return, and it's happened again here, and that ball must be down there for 3 or 4 seconds.
Well, here's Derek Ham at the bottom of the picture working on Jason Tenor. Watch the right hand here. Just Kevin Drake never got the ball caught. Now everybody stops thinking it was an incomplete pass.
So, a turnover apiece. Now, Antoine Carter. Well, he'll pick up 4 yards on first down. Marcus Ray stepping up from safety. So the Fire defensively doing a job again. And this is turning into a war of attrition here in Frankfurt, with defenses well on top.
Well, there's Scotland's first turnover, and a team that committed the fewest in the league this year.
Second down, the Fire still trailing by 4. On the ground they go again. Carter will pick up a couple more. Gang tackle. I think it's Antonio Dingle that's on top of that pile. And Antonio Dingle is about 200 pounds heavier than Antoine Carter, Brian.
Antonio Dingle has helped himself out over here. I saw him with the Carolina Panthers last year. And that's what the crowd thinks about running the football 2-3 plays in a row. You're a little dulled by it, but Antonio Dingles has helped himself out over here. Really improved as a player, learned a lot of technique. To take that back to Carolina this year.
Third down and 4. Danny Werfel trying to keep this drive alive. Goes from the shotgun with the empty backfield again. That means blitz. Flags. Werfel throws. Incomplete.
Dingle just got a shot on Danny Werfel.
And he's slow getting up. The big man from Carolina. He's still down. Here's the call.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 75, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
And Dingle stays down, and Dingle's had some shoulder problems this season, and he still isn't up on his feet. So, concerns for the Scottish Claymores. Dingle, who was voted to the All-NFL Europe team, continues to get treatment, and while that treatment continues, we will take a short break. Back in Frankfurt in a moment. Well, defense is continuing to turn the screws here in the World Bowl. Both offenses really struggling. Larry Fitzpatrick with the fumble recovery. Derek Ham on the left there, the man who forced it. I'm sure Kevin Daft will argue that that was an attempted forward pass, though.
Larry Fitzpatrick will take that fumble recovery. Of course, in the first series, they knocked Scotland out in 3 plays.
Now, can the Fire offense come up with anything here? On third down and 9 from the gun. Werfel looks for Alonzo Johnson, and he's got him. First down, Rhein Fire. Johnson working Cordell Taylor, who is unhappy with something and complains to the referee.
Well, this team, #1 in the league in third down conversions. Gutty throw by Danny Werfel after getting hit a bunch already today. Ooh, a nice strike to Alonzo Johnson. Werfel staying in there, taking it on the chin, and AJ getting behind Taylor right there. Good sure hands by AJ Johnson, who's come on the last couple weeks of the season.
Came on very strong in the absence of Ogden last week. 9 catches. Werfel will throw on first down again. This time he goes the other side, and it's incomplete. They looked for Jeff Ogden, who was stride for stride with his Dallas teammate, Dwan Hawthorne.
Well, Hawthorne's getting the best of it, too. Already today, Ogden only 3 catches, 26 yards. So they're keeping Jeff Ogden in check right now, but he's their big play number. Hawthorne's throwing the blanket over him. And he's throwing a Scottish kilt over him, actually.
He certainly has. Jerry Jones. I'm sure you recognized.
Yeah.
Commissioner Sanglebood on the left. Jerry Jones watching 6 Cowboys in action today. There's one of them.
You'll see a bunch of this starting July 13th when they begin training camp.
Second down, they'll go on the ground. Pepe Pearson with a nice little plunge to pick up a couple of extra yards. Marcus Ray on the stop. There's the commissioner and Jerry Jones. Have some discussions. Somebody's getting ignored in the middle there.
Get an earful from both.
Yeah. Oh, would you like to be a fly on that? On that tie.
Now there's nine general managers or owners of NFL teams here today.
Daniel Snyder, Dean Spannert, and several other assorted pot shots. Werfel gets a first down throw to Kevin Drake, is it? No, it's Sir Kendrick North working Dwan Hawthorne.
Kendrick North is just raw talent. Got inside on Dwan Hawthorne. I think that's the first pass completed against Hawthorne today. Here he's working at the top of the screen. Tight coverage now by Hawthorne. That's a good little shake move. Nice throw by Werfel. Got it right in the right location between the 1 and the 8. And you kind of feel Werfel warming up a little bit here, Nick.
This is a situation that's made for him. Just down by 4. And he's moving the ball. They're at the 40-yard line. They go on the ground. Pepe Pearson. Pearson spinning away from Phil Glover and then falling forward and getting tackled. We'll pick up a couple.
You know, that run didn't make a lot, and they haven't had a lot of big runs here in the third quarter. But they're pounding the belly of the Scottish Claymore defense. They'll be wearing him down for the fourth quarter.
Look on the wheel. X. 0 gang. 50 burst on 1, right?
Just over 4 minutes left, third quarter. Each team guilty of a turnover in this third quarter.
Could be a pass right here by Werfel.
4 wide receivers. Nord is the motion man. The blitz comes. The flags come in, and the pass is incomplete. Looking for Jeff Ogden. Hurley Tarver had the coverage, but flags.
On the offense, 18 and 20 were both moving and didn't reset.
Only one offensive player could move at a time. That time, Pepe Pearson was moving with Kendrick Nord. You guys moving together at the snap of the ball.
Flags have been a problem for the Rhein Fire all year long. I mean, it's amazing, really. Gaylord Hall teams always get very few flags, but not this year.
Well, they lead NFL Europe in the number of offensive penalties this year.
Here we go. 0 gangs in. 50 Zorro, 8 post. On one, right? Kendrick.
Look at Danny, he's got to get the receivers lined up right. They got a post running here, which will be a deep pattern to the middle of the field. If he gets protection, he's going to throw it.
Ogden is lined up alone to the left. The other 3 receivers to the right. Werfel has good protection. Now the pressure comes, and he's down. Michael Mason.
Michael Mason, 7 sacks during the regular season. Part of that defensive end rotation that has just been powerful. And then Jim Tumsula right there, who does an excellent job. And here's the coverage on Ogden by Dwan Hawthorne. This is the post to the middle of the field. That's who he wanted to go to.
But
here's Ogden right in the middle, but
he couldn't find a receiver. And Mason found Werfel. 3rd and long. Oops, and flags again. Flags everywhere, and that one's blown dead before it starts.
Boy, this is...
Both these offenses are really struggling, especially if this one goes against the Fire.
This will be against Pete Swanson, the right tackle. Moved a little bit early, Nick.
Right at the snap, ball start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty.
Pete Swanson from the Chargers, who's hoping that Dean Spanoff wasn't watching that play.
No, but, you know, on 3rd and long, you want to get back as quickly as possible, and he got just a little bit of a head start there, too quick before the snap of the ball. Not giving Danny Werfel a chance to convert this 3rd down as they keep going backwards.
Well, both these offenses, they do a little bit right, and then they find their defenses stiffening up and holding them. Seen a lot of offenses getting pushed back today, and Werfel trying to keep it alive here. Pump fakes, now he takes off. He's got a lot of work to do, and he's not going to make it. He's dragged down by Hurley Tarver.
Great job by Hurley Tarver. Really tracking down Danny Werfel from behind. They only rushed 3 men that time. They dropped 8 into coverage, including Tarver, where Danny Werfel's looking at. Doubling the nose tackle right there by Heimberger.
Suddenly he's going to be looking at grass. I think Hurley Tarver just made contact.
Grass and sky, Nick. It's sky when you're laying on your back looking up.
So Rodney Williams on to punt. 2 return men. Sanford and Gibson. I don't think anybody's going to get a shot at that as the punt from Williams. His first punt of the ball game, incidentally, goes into the end zone for a touchback. So we have a flag.
Yeah, you
got the old illegal man downfield.
Somebody left too early, and Scotland looks like they're going to decline it.
Ineligible member of the kicking team downfield, number 86. The penalty is declined. Touchback and first down.
So it's a stalemate here. It's an offensive stalemate here in the third quarter in Frankfurt. The Scottish Claymores will have the ball, and they have a lead. There's the defensive line of the Scottish Claymores. They did their job. See Tom Tober, they're all wrapped up. It looks like he's picked up a knock.
You know, they've done their job all day. You know, I mean, this team has shut down the #1 scoring offense in this league, kept them out of the end zone. Limited them to 2 field goals right now. They're dictating the tempo.
And that battle and the bad blood that was talked about between the defensive line and these guys here, the offensive line, well, it's not really spilled over at any point, has it? They both played good, disciplined football.
But that's smart, too, Nick, because once you get caught up in the one-on-one battles and the chippiness of going after each other, it takes away from your own play. And, you know, what Scotland does is they keep those guys fresh. They keep rotating them up front, and they don't get tired.
So, can the Scottish offense find anything? Not much on the ground. It is tough for both these offenses today, and Aaron Stecker, who had that 36-yard scamper earlier, has been contained pretty well. Larry Fitzpatrick will be credited with the stop there.
He still has the biggest play of the day. You know, the 36-yard touchdown run, the 3rd play of the game. You know, this is Aaron Stecker. They're only 5'9", 207 pounds, but he'll take it right into the middle of that line. He's not bashful about going in there with the big boys.
Second down as Willie Tate goes in motion. Daft rolls out and has Ricky Brady, and Ricky Brady's got first down yardage to the 42-yard line. Chris Akins coming over from safety and making the stop, but a well-designed play freed up Ricky Brady, and anytime he's wide open, he'll gain yardage.
Well, he was covered by Jamie Baisley on the play. He got help from his other tight end, Willie Tate, who laid a block. Well, here comes Brady across the middle, but he gets help from Willie Tate, 85, on the block. Watch this. Watch Tate come into your picture. He picks off Jamie Baisley. Allows Brady to get a few more yards.
And the ball at the 40-yard line after the 15-yard completion. First down on the ground. Stecker explodes through the hole. 16 yards. Stopped by Nick Ferguson, who was the only man that was going to catch him. If Stecker gets past Ferguson, he's gone.
Well, that's why Ferguson's the safety. He's the last line of defense. But Stecker does show a good burst in traffic. You know, a lot like Warwick Dunn of Tampa Bay, where you see that sticker on the back of his helmet. A guy that will pound it in the middle, and then all of a sudden he'll dart and make a burst.
Well, what a way to end the third quarter. But it's still defense. The defense is on top here. Just 1 touchdown through 3 quarters of play here in an absorbing World Bowl 2000 in Frankfurt. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Nick Halling with Brian Baldinger at World Bowl 2000 in Frankfurt. Aaron Stecker closing in on 100 yards. Trying to keep things moving offensively for Scotland. Only 1 man in World Bowl history over 100 yards rushing. That was Jermaine Chaney of Frankfurt last year. And really, as is so often the case this season with the Scottish Claymores, when the chips are down, this is the guy they've turned to, Brian.
Well, you know, he keeps going to those smelling salts. You know, I think he's been dinged a few times. But, you know, he keeps coming back on the field and punishing the Rhein Fire.
Well, here's Ben Snell looking to apply some punishment, and he just gets tripped up, and then Baisley finishes the job. No gain on the play. Marquez Douglas had the pressure.
Well, I tell you, if Marquez Douglas doesn't trip him up right there, Snell might still be running. Nice job of blocking. I tell you, the guys are doing a good job blocking. And Willie Tate and Ricky Brady, both tight ends are in there right now. And, you know, when they're out there blocking, they generally have to block defensive ends. Tight end on the defensive end, and they're winning those battles there. This is exactly the type of game plan that Scotland likes to play.
Daff goes over the middle. Salicio Sanford picks up first down yardage. Nick Ferguson on the stop, but he picks up 12 yards. The man who's been so explosive as a return man comes up with a clutch first down.
You see why Kevin Daff led the league in quarterback rating points this year. Well, that was just a bullet on the slant right to Sanford. Another first down, the chains move, and they hang on to the football and are controlling the tempo of this game.
This drive started at their own 20. They're at the 34 of the Rhein Fire, and play action again by Daff. Some time, and he goes for a wide open Scott Cooper, and it's picked off. Deshaun Mallard, and Mallard's got some space up the sideline, and once again defenses hold firm. They looked for Cooper, it was a bit high. Cooper tipped it up in the air. Mallard came down with it. In turnover number 2 for Scotland.
Look at the fake, the play action right here. Daff does a good job of holding the ball. He steps up into the pocket. Perfect throw to Scott Cooper. A little bit high right there, but Deshaun Mallard with the tip drill. Boy, the Rhein Fire defense needed this. Right here, Deshaun Mallard sees Cooper all the way. Nice move by Scotty.
Just a little high for him.
Scott Cooper trying to get his second World Bowl ring. Would love to have another shot at that ball.
Well, just when they needed something, they came up with it again. Now, can the Fire do something offensively? Not on that play. Noel Scarlett busted up. Nowhere to go for Antoine Carter. And Scarlett is one of these guys that's going to go back to camp. He's going to go back to the Patriots. Vastly improved from when he arrived in the training camp in Orlando for the Scottish Claymores back in March.
Nick, he came in with just a basket full of talent, but really didn't know what to do with it. He's got great skill training from Jim Tomsula, you know, and he's had a fun time playing the game. That's what impresses you about Noel. He really enjoys playing the game.
Second down and 12. Werfel feels some pressure, manages to get rid of it, and it's almost picked off again. It was Rashid Simmons was applying the pressure, and Blaine McElmurray, who almost came up with it.
Like, when you see Rashid Simmons, he's almost like a clone, you know, of some of the other defensive ends here, like Jabbar Treats. He just pushes Pete Swanson right out of the way, just shivers him out of the way. Rashid Simmons is a guy that's going to make some NFL teams simply because he's got long arms, he can rush the passer, and everybody is looking for guys that can get to the quarterback.
And he goes back to Carolina in a few weeks. Big third down coming up here, and Werfel stands in the pocket, can't find Alonzo Johnson. Well, there was no turnover this time, but again, defense is all over this World Bowl.
Well, this is probably the worst second half Danny Werfel has seen all year. And that's the reason. That defensive line, you know, they felt like they could control this football game, and they have.
Rodney Williams from the Redskins, punting for only the second time. Sanford and Gibson both deep. Remember what happened a couple of weeks ago. Sanford will get it at the 32, and those coverage units of the Rhein Fire a little better this time. Ferguson and Mitchell converging. But it's the Scottish Claymores who will have the ball when we return. Just over 12 minutes left here at World Bowl 2000. Story of the World Bowl so far. Aaron Stecker over 100 all-purpose yards today, and that touchdown. And the Rhein Fire, 3 trips to the red zone, 6 points and 5 turnovers between them.
Well, you know, they've had their chances, Nick, and you got to give a lot of credit to the defensive of Scotland up front, putting pressure on Werfel, and then great coverage from Hawthorne in that whole secondary.
And the Rhein Fire defense has done a very solid job as well. As Stecker just slips over, allowing an easy tackle for Jamie Basin. This is one of those rituals you get here in Frankfurt. I mean, why do they do this, Brian?
Because they think the game is boring right now, and so they have to entertain themselves. You know, all very painless, but it's like a giant food fight. I feel like Belushi in that, you know, in the cafeteria.
But I've been here in 45 all shootouts, and they're doing that stuff.
And then you always have the drummer out there that kind of leads him through it.
Loss of a yard. The blitz is coming. Daff manages to unload it. Can't find Donald Sellers. Incomplete. Third down.
Well, Sellers is hot, too, because he had a step on Deshaun Mallard. That ball was thrown high.
Okay, Tiger personnel, trips right. 25 all hook hunt.
Here we go.
You know what this means? 25 hook all hunt. Every receiver is going to go out and run a hook, and Kevin Daff has to hunt down the open receiver. It's really that simple.
Let's see if it's that simple in execution. Third down, the blitz is coming again, and it's a full-on blitz, and Daff does manage to find Ricky Brady. And Brady dragged that in. A flag comes in from the defensive backfield, but Brady with great elevation.
Boy, Brady's been a star here tonight. No touchdowns for Brady, but boy, when they get in trouble on third down, they keep finding the tight end.
He's the guy.
Yeah, and he's been beating the linebackers one-on-one.
And the Fire were coming full on there, and it goes against the Rhein Fire.
Pass interference, number 59 of the defense. The penalty is declined as the pass was completed for a first down.
So Ricky Brady hangs on, and they move the chains.
There's the coverage. You see Ricky Brady to your right, working one-on-one with Ogle. You know, there's the all hook. He came back to the ball. Daff was a little high with it, but Brady with the big frame. You know, probably the best blocking tight end in this league, but when hands like that, he's an all-around guy.
First down. Play action. Daff feels the pressure, loses the football. Ball is loose, and it's recovered by the Rhein Fire. They've done it again. Larry Fitzpatrick forcing the pressure. Derek Ham recovering the fumble.
That's exactly the way it happened the last time, Nick, except Derek Ham knocked the ball out, and Fitzpatrick recovered it. This is bookend defensive ends doing their job, working the corners.
And you saw Daniel Snyder smiling. Derek Ham's one of his players.
Now, this is a big mismatch this time. Larry Fitzpatrick going up against a running back that time of protection. Look at Ham coming in. Ham, the all-NFL Europe defensive end this year. Nice strip by Fitzpatrick.
6 sacks for the Rhein Fire. Ties a World Bowl record. More importantly, it gives Danny Werfel great field position. And he's going to make something of it here. Just a quick 5 yards. Finkis and Taylor converging on the stop. But for the first time in this second half, the Fire with excellent field position.
Yeah, because of the defense.
One spread, 591, bullet scrape.
Here we go, 0 spread, gun, 591, bullet scrape on 1. Right.
This will be a pass right here by Werfel. Probably a deep set, too, this time, as he takes it from the shotgun. No running backs this time.
Slide right! Slide right! Red hot!
From the gun, blitz is on. They get rid of it. They've got Kevin Drake. Drake is brought down by Dwan Hawthorne. First down yardage for the Rhein Fire. Less than 10 minutes remaining.
Boy, is Danny Werfel happy, too. He had the right play on against the right defense. They blitzed him. Danny Werfel read it. He was in the shotgun, giving him a little bit extra time. Watch, Finkis comes on the blitz, and along with Glover. Nobody picks him up, but the ball's gone before they get to Werfel. Well, that's vintage Danny Werfel, getting rid of the ball before the defense can get to him.
Back in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Werfel looking.
Drake
goes in the end zone. Broken up. They were looking for Drake. Hawthorne was there.
I have a feeling that if Kevin Drake tonight, you know, goes back to his hotel to get changed, Hawthorne's going to be right there with him to open up his door. Everywhere Drake goes, Hawthorne's been with him today. Drake the top of the screen, runs the corner out. One tremendous coverage all night.
Umpire Cam giving you the view.
Here we go! Blue!
Second down.
Blue! Red!
Well, will look to throw again. This time they go for Ogden, who can't quite bring it in. He had to twist and adjust in midair. And it's going to be third down.
Oh, and by the way, if Ogden goes to the hotel to change tonight, Hawthorne will be there with him too. I mean, this guy in coverage tonight has been the MVP of the game. They keep trying to work on him. I would go to the other side of Blackwell. You know, and if anybody knows Ogden's moves, it's Hawthorne. I mean, he gets a chance to work on him every single day in in Dallas, out at Valley Ranch.
Third down. They need to get it to the 6-yard line to keep this drive alive.
Here we go, blue!
They have Antoine Carter in the backfield.
Blue.
And from the gun, Werfel has some time. Flags come in. It's incomplete. A great effort, great second effort. Somehow to make the catch from Alonzo Johnson, but there are flags all over the field.
I think Ogden feels like he might have picked somebody. An illegal pick would be offensive pass interference.
That was a great effort from the former Barcelona Dragon just to pull it in when it looked dead. Short of first down yardage anyway, but
Alonzo Johnson saying it's holding on the defense, which would be an automatic first down.
Well, the Claymores have had their flag problems this year as well, and this really would be an expensive one.
Well, there's 3 different flags on the play.
But they're all in the same area, Brian.
Yeah.
And this potentially is huge, and it goes against the Claymores.
Costly penalty because it'll give the Fire a first down.
Holding. Defense number 40.
It's Hurley Tarver.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
And it is, as you say, first down.
And that was on a 3rd down right there, Nick. So, boy, they get a break on that time. Hurley Tarver's had a good game, too. Been excellent in coverage.
Galen Hall's offensive unit stays on the field.
One flex, 592, slant out trade.
Because without that flag, they'd have to send on the kicking unit. That's how big that play was. First down at the 11-yard line.
Another pass with a shotgun formation with no running back, 5 wide receivers. Scotland will blitz them here.
Low snap, the blitz comes, Werfel pays the price, and it's just incomplete. They were looking for Ogden. Finkis and Taylor led the charge. A split second more, and Werfel would have completed that.
There's no split seconds here, Nick. You know, as soon as they see no running backs in the backfield, it's an automatic blitz. They bring 3 linebackers and 3 defensive linemen, and the race is on. Hard to buy time with that.
And here's how Danny Werfel saw it.
How do you find a receiver in that?
How do you get the ball off with that?
You feel like you're in a washing machine.
Blue! Blue!
Second down. Werfel has time this time, goes the other way, looks for Ogden, can't quite find him, it's incomplete.
Nick, how many times down here tonight in this red zone you see this coverage, you see a mix here on defense of different fronts, blitzes. It's like the hardest time the Rhein Fire have ever had the ball get in the end zone this year.
One's in, right? What? One snugs in, 50 red shape.
One snugs in.
Third down and 10.
Yeah, Danny wants to talk about this one.
Timeout, Rhein. That's their first charge team timeout.
So they're going to think about it, and World Bowl 2000 has hit a critical point. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in Frankfurt in a moment. Well, that's the man you look for in this situation, Brian. Lawrence Hart, the tight end.
Well, not on the sidelines, I wouldn't look for him, Nick, you know, but guy that scored 2 touchdowns this year.
I like Z drive. I think Z drive on the over is going to get it.
But he likes Z drive out of snort. Is that what you like, Z drive out of snort?
Maybe put Kendrick on like a skinny post on the backside.
Put him on a skinny post. One snugs in, 50 Z drive. Put him on a skinny.
We got one snugs in.
Well, that was just a few moments ago as they talked it over.
Yeah. One snug drive, they're going to look. Skinny post is, the first look is going to be right over the middle. Danny Werfel's wife, Amy, right there in the middle.
Third down, and this is big. Werfel from the gun. Has time. Has a man. It's broken up. Corey Blackwell.
Not tonight, folks. That was a skinny post to Nord over the middle.
That's the play of the game so far, defensively.
Blanket coverage all night, especially in the red zone. Danny Warfel here, he stayed in as long as he could stay in and still get rid of this football, because he's going to get hit on the play. Great coverage by Blackwell. He had the arm right in the passing lane.
And a 29-yard field goal will be attempted by Manfred Bergsmuller.
Ooh, he hit the outside of the upright.
And he's missed it. And the Claymores defense holds firm. And how big a momentum swing is that going to be?
You said it, Nick. He got the crowd up on his feet, all those Galaxy fans cheering for him. That man made the play.
They were driving. They thought they had got it in the end zone. It was broken up by that man there, and then Manfred Bergsmuller misses a 29-yard field goal. And Scotland get out of jail.
And, you know, the danger of missing that field goal, Nick, is if the defense could hold, a field goal would win if you could make it, to make the score 10-9. Anytime you drive the field like Fire did and you don't get points, it's deflating.
Now, can the Claymores capitalize? Daft looks for Stecker. Stecker looks in trouble. He's down. Nick Ferguson. I tell you, this Fire defense is matching the Claymores play for play.
No question about it. Nick, who...
Well, whenever this situation happens, somebody else has to step up. And Francine Manfred Bergsmuller.
Yeah, he just hooked it. That one. Yeah, he hooked it from the right hash to the left hash and hit the crossbar. See a good hold on it.
Well, he's got no distance. Everybody knows that. He is 50 years old, but usually he's accurate from 30.
Well, he knows right away.
There's the swing pass to Stecker. Stecker gets a block, but he's still dragged down short. 3-yard gain. Jamie Baisley on the stop. That's going to bring up 3rd down and long. And so important for the Fire just to put that behind them. And their defense has got to come out and make a stand here.
Well, so far so good. They got him into a 3rd down situation. You know, Manny will talk to Pete Milazovic in that broken English of his.
3rd down and 13 for Kevin Daft. Daft has time,
All kinds of time.
And he finds Stecker, and that ball was short, and it was never, ever going to be completed for 1st down yardage, and Derek Gardner was wrapped all over Stecker. There was just nowhere for Daft to go. The receivers were blanketed.
And that man, Baisley, you know, has been covering Stecker all over the field. Good pressure up front. Kenny Anderson and company. Well, nice effort by the Fire. They've shut out the Scotland offense in the first and the second half here. And they got the ball back for the offense. You see the time ticking now, under 5.5 minutes.
Ballantyne will punt it away, and Fisher waits at his own 40.
And we know the danger that Fisher can be.
And he's fielded it, and he's got a return going, and then he stops. Eventually, well, a second effort somehow keeps him going. In the end, it's Ben Snell that wraps him up. Fisher must have got 5 extra yards, which could be crucial the way this game is going.
Well, he got the ball into the Scottish Claymore territory. The offense got the ball right back on 3 plays.
And it's as if that field goal miss never happened now. They've got plenty of time. They've got the ball at Scotland's 43. And they've got Danny Werfel, who is the coolest man in a crisis. Galen Hall said to us, he said, there's never any feeling of panic around this team, even when they were 21 points down against Berlin.
That's right. It was the 3rd biggest comeback in NFL Europe history. Down 20-0 at the half. He scored 4 second-half touchdowns.
So can this #1 Claymore defense hold firm again? Or can this #1 Fire offense find the key to unlock this World Bowl? From the gun, on the ground, Pepe Pearson spins for 1st down yardage. Eventually stopped by Blaine McElmurray, 11 yards, 1st down.
Good call, Nick. You know, he's in the shotgun that time. Run the draw with the type of pressure they're putting on him. They come right back to the draw here, Nick. They're inviting that pass rush to come after him.
50 draw on 1, ready?
50 draw, he can just take this right behind the center, and then it's going to use his own vision to see where to go. Where's the opening?
Here we go, rip! Rip!
Ball at the 33-yard line. They'll go again. On the ground, it's good yardage again for Pepe Pearson. Give him another 6. Stopped by Rashid Simmons.
Well, this isn't the Rhein Fire problem. They can get the ball into the red zone, down near the goal line.
Here's the look from the quarterback. There's the handoff. There goes Pearson.
There's the hole. You see that hole, Nick? Can you feel it? Right on the other side of Breimer and Craig Heinberg on the right side. All the receivers to the right.
Here we go.
Coming up to 4 minutes left, second down. On the ground again, Pearson gets past the first man, stays on his feet, picks up first down yardage. Another 6 yards for Pepe Pearson, who's coming on strong fourth quarter. Simmons again on the stop with John Hess.
Right.
Jalen Hall pacing the sidelines. Both teams
Gun
so
one.
close to this.
15 alert right on one right.
Gun, I think they're going to keep feeding it here to Pepe Pearson.
Rip!
They're at the 20.
Rip!
From the gun. Again, play action. Look for Alonzo Johnson. They got Johnson. Cordell Taylor on the stop. 4 yards on the gain. Second down and 6. Just over 3 minutes remaining.
I'll tell you, Werfel is going to be sore tomorrow. I mean, he's going to spend some time in a whirlpool. He's taking some hits tonight.
0. Gun 0, 14 zone on one right.
There it is. You're going to run this ball this time out of the gun. You'll run right behind that right side of Pete Swanson and Craig Heimberger.
Here we go. Live! Live!
Again from the gun. Low snap. They give it to Antoine Carter. Carter blasts his way through to the 5. First down. But Carter and that elusiveness of his, again, a huge factor. Tarver on the stop. Carter looks like he's hurt. But it's first and goal, Fire.
Well, how many times over the years at Galen Hall, this has been the type of offense they love. Pounded with that offensive line, a couple of talented running backs running behind it. But they've been inside the 5-yard line now at least 3 times tonight and haven't scored a touchdown yet.
Umpire Cam.
Well, look at this hole. He didn't just run through that hole, he jumped through it that time.
Timeout has been called by Danny Werfel. That's their second with just over 2 minutes remaining.
That's their second charge, team timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
Well, of course, they've got to think end zone here. A field goal is no good for them at this stage of the game. They've got to find that end zone.
You what? I should let it go to 2 minutes. Well, I don't know if we had time. Okay. We might have got a penalty. All right.
That's good thinking on the spot, though.
I think
See, Danny would have loved to run that ball right that time, Nick, because they had the defense on their heels. They're getting tired. That offensive line was taking over. This timeout allows Scotland to get reset and get their win back. He thought he was going to run out of time, and maybe a penalty was going to ensue if he tried to run it.
Well, they've waited nearly 58 minutes without finding the end zone. Can the Rhein Fire reach it here? First and goal from the 5. Drake is the motion man. Werfel hands it off again on the ground. Pepe Pearson will pick up a couple. Phil Glover was there on the stop. We have reached the 2-minute warning here in Frankfurt with the Scottish Claymores clinging to a 4-point lead, but the Fire knocking on the door. The season has 1 minute and 59 seconds left. The Scottish Claymores have a 4-point lead. The Rhein Fire have a second down at the Scotland 4-yard line. Pick a winner, Brian.
I like what the offensive line of this Rhein Fire has done, especially on this drive, but over the course of the night, I would not get away from the run right here. I'd stay with it. That's what got him down into this position.
Second and goal. Drake is in motion. They stay on the ground and spinning to the 1-yard line. They so nearly got in. A second now, the whistle had blown that one dead. Finkis was there. Marcus Ray was there. It's going to be third and goal.
I saw the fullback on that play was linebacker Dusty Renfro. Comes in to play fullback. He had a nice lead block that time for Pearson. And here they are, over a yard away from the winning this World Bowl right here is what it comes down to.
The clock continuing to run. Galen's rolling the dice. Pearson stays in. Renfro stays in the block. Third and goal. It's spotted at the 2. They give it to Pearson again. He's in. Touchdown, Rhein Fire with 1:12 left.
They stayed with it, Nick. 4 times to the red zone. They finally get in the end zone. Behind Renfro and the right guard, Craig Heinberger.
It took them nearly 59 minutes, Brian. They reached the end zone at a critical time. It's given them the lead. Bergsmuller needs this extra point. It's a high snap, but Bergsmuller has done his job. And it's a 13-10 Rhein Fire lead with a minute 12 left as Danny Werfel won the World Bowl for the Fire. And in this second half, the Scottish offense less than 100 total yards.
86 yards, Nick, and you give credit to the Rhein Fire defense, but also to that offensive line of the Fire.
Oh, Rob Hart. It could come down to him, but there's a long way to go yet.
Watch this, they're going to pull the right guard, Craig Heinberger. He gets a good kick-out block. Dusty Renfro, the linebacker, a lead block on the safety. Pepe Pearson had a nice hole. Put a helmet camera on Pepe Pearson here. See what he was looking at.
And Pepe Pearson, who went AWOL for the second half of the season, has played a very solid game today. And is this the carry that wins the championship?
Well, Nick, everybody's on the ground. He's running through a minefield.
His fans, wives, girlfriends.
Yeah. Boy, that's Amy Werfel right in the middle.
Well, Werfel was the architect. Pearson finished it off. But can Scotland conjure up one of those kickoff returns? They need one now. It's a squib kick line drive. And Damon Gibson has trouble fielding it and just has to fall on the ball, and that's the worst possible situation. Great special teams play from the Fire. Just a line drive with a slippery ball. No chance of a return.
Now they lead the league in kickoff coverage, and that's why you squib the ball. It's very difficult to field. Here's the umpire cam on the winning touchdown, or what looks to be the winning touchdown.
But there's still over a minute remaining. Scotland still have 3 timeouts. And Pearson is celebrating and leading the cheers on the sideline.
Pearson, look at that. 6 rushes on that drive for 48 yards. Boy, did he come alive at the right time.
Sellers, Sanford, Cooper, all in the mix. 4 wide receivers, and Daft goes from the shotgun. The ball at the 19-yard line. And they go over the middle to Stecker, and Stecker jukes his way for first down yardage, or very close. Baisley on the stop. And that is right on the first down marker. Jim Kreiner sees the clock run under a minute. They have 3 timeouts. They just used one of them.
30-second timeout.
Oh, the tension here.
Yeah. Just turn around to the white hat when you want to call a timeout. Okay? Yeah. Deuce right. Gun deuce right. 24 arrows, wide basic. Your basic was open. Yeah.
He wants to go a little bit deeper with the throw. The area of the field that's going to be open is right in front of the safeties, who are playing extremely deep.
Around that backer, all right? We're going to go gun deuce right, 24 arrows, wide basic, on silent count.
Middle of the field here, Nick. Behind the linebackers, in front of the safeties, about 15 yards is where it's going to be looking.
It's second and short. Daft movement at the line of scrimmage. There are flags. Now, what can Daft do with this? He goes over the middle, can't find Gibson. Incomplete. But definite movement at the line of scrimmage and flags immediately.
Well, this will be a free 5 yards for the Claymores.
Well, as you say, there was a free play. There was more available.
Offside. Defense, the nose guard. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
But they do move the chains. They move it to the 34-yard line. And just so you know, as Alcalde and Kreiner and Daft combine to communicate.
Come on now.
They need to get this to the 25-yard line to give Rob Hart any chance. That's how far they've got to go with 54 seconds left. Daft from the gun. The pressure's coming. He manages to get rid of it, but it's incomplete. He was dragged down from the backside. But Derek Ham applied the pressure.
What a game by Derek Ham. Forced a fumble tonight, recovered a fumble. Good pressure on the backside that time, working against Dan Collins. The Washington Redskins, Daniel Snyder's here today, got themselves a player.
Well, Derek Ham said when he saw Bruce Smith getting signed, he said, I better step it up a little bit. And he stepped it up this season and in this game tonight.
Yeah, actually, that was Scott Curry working over there at left tackle.
2nd down and 10. Again from the gun. And Daft has time, has Sellers. Sellers, flags come in. And what's going on there?
Well, the clock is going to stop with the flag.
Sellers was going crazy about something there to the officials.
Well, he's saying it was interference on him. They were dragging on him, and they called it.
And it is a hold. This thing is not over yet.
Oh, no. We watched the Super Bowl with Tennessee this year.
Defense, number 30. The penalty is declined. Result of the play is a 1st down.
Well, they don't get the extra yard.
Nick, doesn't it remind you a little bit of the Super Bowl?
It does.
You know, we said that Scotland reminds us of the Tennessee Titans. They don't quit. They keep coming at you. And Sellers, good concentration. Wants to break that tackle to keep going.
It's got the ball to the 45-yard line. They're still in their own territory. They need a lot more. 42 seconds left. 1st down. Got Sellers. Can't find him. And he had Cooper behind him as well. 2nd down. Tough to know who Daft was aiming at there. Was it Sellers or Cooper? It seemed to split them both.
Trey right. 24 wide drive.
Here we go. We're going to go gun Trey right. 24 wide drive. Silent count. Silent count.
36 seconds left. 2nd and 10. They need 30 yards just to get into field goal range. Pressure comes. They can't find Gibson. And it's going to be 3rd and 10. Marquis Douglas applying the heat up front.
You got to be cool into this situation right here. He had Stecker open underneath, along with Damon Gibson. Threw it behind him.
Here's what he saw. Marcus Douglas with the hit.
Yeah, that's what goes on inside your brain, too.
Yeah.
Things just start, it looks like a kaleidoscope in there.
3rd and 10. He's got time. He's got a receiver. Is he in?
And they got him to catch.
They got him.
On a 1st down and out of bounds.
Derek Gardner pushed him out of bounds.
Nick, they are moving this ball down the field.
They are moving this ball.
And you know what? And Daft is just taking what they're giving him. Working on the outside here. The down Sellers. Knows he's got time working on Gardner. They're not trying to beat him with speed, just trying to beat him with change of pace.
Now the ball is at the 43-yard line. Now another 20 yards here. And Rob Hart has got a shot.
Sellers will have him again over here.
That ball was touched as it left his hand. Ken Anderson and Derek Ham celebrating. 2nd and 10. 23 seconds left.
Hey, Kevin Daft looks pretty cool back there, doesn't he?
Well, whatever else you say about Kevin Daft, he is poised.
Yeah.
Listen up. We're going to go gun, deuce right, draw. Silent count.
Ooh. Got him call right here.
Well, they've got the timeouts to stop the clock as well.
Blue 88. Blue 88.
Does it catch the fire? No, it doesn't. They stay home. Ernie Brown, first man there. Ham and Anderson weren't far behind, and they have to burn a timeout now. The Claymores with 17 seconds left. Well, the draw worked so well for the fire, but it didn't work so well for Stecker then.
Well, that's Anderson and Ham making a great play. It's a bad call, I'll tell you what. The defensive line is so tired, Nick. They don't really come up the field like they normally do when they're rested. Ernie Brown coming off the block. I mean, he didn't get much penetration. That's a great effort by Ernie Brown. Doing a complete 360 spin right into the play. Boy, how many times are we going to call Derek Ham's name tonight?
Well, Derek Ham allocated here from the Washington Redskins, who have retooled so much. He says it's been tough for him to watch all these big names that have been coming in. Bruce Smith, Dion, of course. 3rd down. They need 15 yards just to get into field goal range. One timeout remaining. Can Dak keep it alive here? He goes over the middle. He's got Damon Gibson. Oh, Silicio Sanford to the 22. And they still have a timeout left. He was tackled by Ferguson and Akins. They are in field goal range.
Nick, this is about a 40-yard effort right here for Rob Hart.
His longest ever is 42. It's not a gimme. Will they go for one more play in the end zone, or will they just send Hart out? And Daft is going to talk it over.
I know, but there's only 8.
That's exactly what they're talking about, Nick. Only 8 seconds. Haven't called Sanford's name a lot tonight, but that was a big catch.
Field goal, field goal, field goal.
Well, you hear it. Jim Kreiner.
I mean, I don't want to.
1 for 4 this year from outside of 40 yards, Nick.
And here he is, the Englishman. And the hopes of the Claymores rest on his bare foot now. Willie Tate is his holder.
Nick, I saw him in practice this week, kicking him from 40 and 45 consistently.
This from 40. What's that? Timeout from the Rhein Fire, just to make Hart sweat.
Well, you know, like in pressure situations, they say, do you have ice water in your veins? Does he have ice water in his feet?
No, you're fine, you're fine.
Well, Rob Hart. And here's Galen Hall. Oh, he realized there was a timeout left to take, so why not take it?
And there's never been overtime in World Bowl history, Nick.
Well, we're a 40-yard field goal away from it here.
Let's go!
Rhein Fire won a game this year against Frankfurt in the final 2 minutes, blocking a field goal.
Who would be Rob Hart right now? 10 seconds left in the championship game. You've got to kick a 40-yard field goal to keep your team alive.
Well, I saw him showing Mel Gibson and Braveheart before the game. It'd be a little bit like Braveheart right here.
Time for that Braveheart spirit. The Englishman, Rob Hart, with a 40-yard field goal attempt. It's on its way, but it's wide. Under fire, no, it's over. It never had a chance. Well, it wasn't a classic, Brian. It was one of those games that just gripped you throughout, and it's so sad that it should be decided like that.
Nick, two very evenly balanced teams that we pointed out. Here's the hold by Willie Tate, and it was bad from the beginning.
It never looked like it was going to make it. He just snatched at it.
Good hold. You know, we're talking about a wet surface right now and a bare foot. Just don't know if that ball slipped it all off the foot.
He knew the second it left his boot.
You know, it's all or nothing. You know, the hero.
So the Rhein Fire win their second World Bowl in 3 years. Galen Hall picks up his second World Bowl. They just go through the formalities of a knee. And the Rhein Fire have come from behind with a touchdown with just over a minute remaining from Pepe Pearson. And Galen Hall is celebrating. It's tears and disaster for Rob Hart and the Scottish Claymores. And in the end, Brian, it basically boiled down to a close game between two well-matched teams, just as we thought it might.
Well played, and the defenses came up big on both sides. Rhein Fire, you got to give him credit. Completely shut out this offense in the second half.
You have to feel for Rob Hart.
Of course.
But it's over. It's success for Galen Hall and Danny Werfel, who kept his cool under fire, masterminding that drive. And they went on the ground. And you have to say they're worthy winners, Brian.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You know, I mean, Galen Hall, they won the league with a 7-3 record. They were the best team. You know, they had the best talent, but could they put it together against the #1 defense in the league? And they got just enough. And it was really helped out by a superior effort by the defense in the second half.
Well, that wraps up the action from Frankfurt. So So the Rhein Fire celebrating their second championship in 3 years. And what What an achievement by Galen Hall as well to take his team to 3 World Bowls in 4 years. And a lot of people said they were the best team in the league at the finish last year as well. They just missed out.
Well, they got off to that 1-3 start last year. They buried themselves in a hole and they never really got out of it.
Anyway, here's Bill Peterson, the league president.
Drama and excitement each weekend in NFL Europe League. To Jim Kreiner and the Scottish Claymores, thank you for one great effort this evening, one great game. This game was broadcast all over the world, a live audience. I'd like to thank the fans here in Frankfurt. You're the best, great job. Thank you. And now to present the trophy to the winning team, our presenting sponsor, Hartmut Geivik from Holston Brewery.
Thanks, friends of American football. Thanks, friends of the NFL Europe League. It has been a great season with tight games.
You can pronounce that name,
and
can't you, Brian?
I think today it was a very high of it. Thanks to the players, a fantastic team, and congratulations, the winning team, the Rhein Fire!
Well, there it is. Galen Hall still with the strength to lift that 41-pound glass globe.
Boy, the fans are sticking around too, and there are some faithful, loyal fans in all these teams in NFL Europe.
Fire! Hey, congratulations to our players, our organization, our coaches, and especially for the Rhein Fire fans. They're the best in the league. Thank you. Fire!
And Nick, of course, you know that the Rhein Fire this year led the league in attendance, set an attendance record there in Dusseldorf.
For the first time, it's a franchise that's just got better and better and better on and off the field.
God bless you. Good night.
So well run. And they have become the team to beat in Europe now. No question.
Well, I hope that podium is sturdy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of weight, a lot of beef up there.
Everybody's up there.
On top of them.
Best feeling in the world, that, if you're a football player, isn't it, Brian?
Well,
the championship.
Nick, you know, the one thing you always miss when you leave football is the camaraderie. And then when you have the camaraderie of a championship, it's something that bonds you together for life. That's what Galen Hall was talking about before the game tonight. It's a feeling that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. And, you know, once you become a champion, they can never take it away from you.
Well, fortunes ebbed and flowed today. You thought one team had it, then the other team would come back. Defenses were terrific on both sides.
Well, they've been a fourth-quarter team all year, Nick. They 87 points in the fourth quarter this year, and they showed it again tonight, scoring their first and only touchdown when it counted the most.
And that's glitter everywhere at the moment in the stadium. Beautiful shot.
Boy, that is nice.
That's what they do at the Super Bowl. It's appropriate they do it here as well. This is a championship game. And they are the champions. You can only imagine the feeling in the Claymores locker room right now.
Just the opposite, Nick. Just the opposite. You know, a game that was so close, it just kind of slipped through their fingers with the, really led by a bunch of turnovers in the second half.
And everybody's going to get their hands on that ball, is Ryan Neufeld.
And, you know, they should, Nick, because this was a total team contribution. We called a number of different players' names out tonight. You know, Matt Lytle came in and gave him a lift in the second quarter, took him down for a field goal.
Rodney Williams punted well. Manfred, well, he kicked when he had to, apart from that one field goal.
Yeah, he got the first two, which were important.
And it's a moment these players will remember for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I remember talking to a lot of the Frankfurt Galaxy last year, and a couple days after the championship, and nobody wanted to go home.
There's a guy that deserves it. Jamie Baisley right in the middle, holding that ball.
Yeah, coming back for his third time. You know, his third year over here.
And this may be it for Jamie. He's saying he's not sure if he's coming back or not. And how appropriate that he goes out a winner. There's one guy you've got to feel good about, it's him.
Well, you know, I think when he decided to come over last year, this is what it was for, to come over for the championship.
To think he was playing on a golf course when Galen Hall called him up and said, you want to give it one last run? Well, that beats golf. So we've had the presentations. We can hardly see here. There's so much smoke has come from the fireworks. Half the field is just shrouded in smoke. It wraps up the season. It's been another good one, Brian.
Boy, it really has. You know, in the sixth season over here, it just keeps getting bigger and better. Jerry Jones in attendance today with Daniel Snyder and Paul Tagliabue. they came and witnessed a great game, a well-played game, and a lot of these players we'll hear about in the NFL this year.
Well, that wraps it up from Frankfurt. Fellas, we've enjoyed it. Hope you have. Back to you guys in London.